the mid game because of I feel like the heroes and the way because they were losing. I think they had like a 3K deficit in the beginning, and I remembering making a comment about they are behind, but they needed to come and fight with the gyro and try to secure some areas in the map. But Jackie was just happily farming away at his team's expenses. Yeah. I don't know if he decided to do it or the team just decided, oh guys, we are so far behind. Let's just play defensive. Which I
Hello.
thought was the wrong call in that game.
I think sometimes it's probably hard because Jackie, I think he feels like, okay, I could farm or I could help and fight with my team. But at the same time, it's weird for the gyro to be the one saying, hey guys, come around me and let's fight, right? Like you would kind of hope that maybe.
But why is it weird?
I'm just thinking. So, like for example, in that situation where I'm playing the one who's struggling, maybe I'll say, hey guys, like if I wanted to fight, I'm like, hey, Gyro, you're really strong right now. Can you come and like help us out, right? Because it might not be very natural for the guy to think, okay, you know what, my team needs me to fight. Like you're kind of focusing on your own game for the most part. But I agree with you. I think there's a certain element of maybe needing to step up and take charge in that situation. We'll see whether Glyph can rearrange the pieces and get back on track because they're up against YG.
Hello,
YG
brother.
Yesterday lost to Ivory 2-0. I feel like historically those two teams are pretty evenly matched. But then we saw a completely different Ivory yesterday, so I don't even know what to make of that.
Yeah, Ivory definitely figured something out about the new patch. The way they're playing is, I think, a lot better than what they are, or at least what I'm accustomed to when I watch their games.
Yeah,
I think they showed a lot of finesse in terms of understanding the macro, when to fight, what heroes to shove out what lane. The way they are playing the map, I think, was really impressive in the series against OG. And yeah, I've never seen them play this well, so they're definitely one of the favorites to win the qualifiers at this point. And in this series, I think based on what I saw yesterday, I feel like maybe nobody's superior. If again, both of them are kind of in a very similar spot here, and they're kind of struggling to figure out what they have to do in the current patch, and we'll see who actually figured something that is important to give them a head start in this series.
This is a pretty interesting first ban coming out. YG choosing to take out the Dazzle. That's not a hero that we've seen much of at all in the close qualifiers across all the regions. So maybe some respect towards, I assume, Naman, because this seems like a very specific target ban. Although Glyph, they didn't show the Dazzle at all so far in their close open qualifier games. Not too sure what that's about. But we're gonna see that trade-off. Pango into the Slada. We've seen some Pangos come out yesterday, and the answer was Treant Protector. That's still a hero that's available, but Yangon go for the fish instead. Why do you think they do so?
Official string ပြတာ bro ဒီလေးမပေါအောင် Yes bro အခုအဲ့ YouTube ကပြနေရဗျာနော်
But usually they're mids, they don't play.
ကျွန်တော်တယောက်တည်းပါC1C 8နေရမသိဘူးခေါ်တော့ခေါ်တာ
Scaling mids, Sala feels
မနေ့ကဟုတ်တယ် Ivory က 2Z တဲ့ OG ကို ယုံတော့မယုံနိုင်ဘူး
probably already planning to pick the Slada from the get-go, so you don't want to lane into Dazzle, Slada on the plus 5. Right. So maybe that's probably one of the reasons. And Slada plus Rubik, this is also a very, very, I think, good lane setup for the Slada, and with both the Slada and Rubik.
Ivory ရဲ့ OG ကိုတော့နိုင်တာဆိုတော့ခြေနေတော့ကောင်းနေ Ivory
Some teams they have this mindset like our off laner is always going to do well regardless the situation we put him in. I think Momo is a very good off laner in that type of scenario. He doesn't need to be prioritized. He's okay to be left alone in an island, and he will get. I think he will get enough for his own game. So I think this is probably the best way that they are supposed to use him.
Yeah, I intend to agree. I think Yangon, Momo, he's impressed me quite a bit because regardless of what situation you put him in, he never really gets so far gapped, right? He's never like 0-5, 0-6, like just getting killed non-stop. He doesn't really get bullied. He always kind of finds a way back into the game somehow or another. Now, the Slada
အင်္ဂိမ်းလေးကပြပါလား
is to me like a very feast of famine hero.
bro အင်္ဂိမ်းလေးကပြရင် brother တို့နောက်ကျနေလို့လေအားကြောင့်မို့
Start off with that and allow for Glyph to maybe counter it in the lane is interesting.
ရှုံးရင်ထွက်ပြီလားဟုတ်ဘူးရှုံးရင်တော့ထွက်ပြီဗျဒါ loser bracket ဆို
There's no real obvious target to break, but maybe this is just a pairing for the Pango in the off lane.
နိုင်ဖို့တော့ခက်မယ်ထင်နေ
I mean, it's also just a good hero. Not just he. I don't think you need.
တင်းနေရလွယ်တော့မလွယ်ဘူးဗျာနော်ဒါပေမဲ့
So I
ဟောကပ်ဖြစ်ချင်းအောင်လေ
Putting
yes
just go hero. A lot of the other
What the fuck?
boss stuff, so maybe put wings in a decent spot.
ကပ်ဖြစ်ချင်းရသေးဘူးလား
They can set up from a pretty decent range.
တရား copy လိုက်မြင်မြင်လေးဖြစ်သွား
You're pretty strong in the lane. The hero is that's good. So Yangon immediately goes for the Ursa. So thinking that
thank you brother
and they need something to lane against the Penguin. I don't actually really like the Ursa pick here because I was also considering that when I see Penguin,
duration ကိုကျွန်တော်မသိဘူး bro ကျွန်တော်
thought is Naga is good against all three heroes. The net is good against Pengo. You can deal with the egg with the sleep. And yeah,
Green stroke
that's good against Phoenix and Hoodwing as well. So
green ဆိုတခါမှမမြင်ဘူး
Ursa, but they are deciding to go for like a very aggressive lineup here with the Ursa plus Slada. Very objective focus. You get
ဟုတ်တယ် bro check ဒီဟိုဘက် carry ဆိုတဲ့ check ရဟိုဟာဘုံ idea အရင်ဘုံ idea carry
She's very good with Ursa and also very good against
တင်းကြမှာပြောရှင်းပါစေ
It's gonna
ကျေးဇူးပါ
be a
bro
lethal lane, right? Grimstroke Ursa run at you with the ink swell. You basically can't use swashbuckle until you see those spells come out. If not, they're just gonna run you down. So pretty scary.
ဒီတဲ့ Jackie and friend လားဟုတ်တယ် bro ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့အတင်
He's gonna get his hands on his Storm Spirit. This is a hero that was banned out against him by OG throughout yesterday, so he didn't really get his time to shine. Winter, I think you were saying in the past, Emo, he's that kind of player that just wants to take his spirits and he doesn't care about anything. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, we'll have to see.
Yeah, usually he gets picked very early on. I think maybe he was considering the Pango, but then he felt like he wanted the Storm, so he has priority and he gets up. He gets more priority than Zeal. You know? I think Zeal in Glyph is, I want to say he's a little bit similar to Momo where he doesn't have as much priority and usually the team like just picks his hero out early or in a blind matchup and just lets him figure out how to survive. You know, and I think both teams kind of use their offlaners in similar ways. I mean, the Storm is great here because of the. I think they feel like he can actually be unkillable against the support duo. Rube and Grim definitely not the easiest heroes to catch a Storm. I mean, there are ways, but it won't be easy. And usually Grimstroke.
ဒီဝဲနိုင်သွားခဲ့ရင်ဒီဝဲနိုင်တဲ့လူနဲ့ OG နဲ့ဆွာမှာထင်တယ် bro
And
ဟုတ်တယ်ထင်တယ်
very vulnerable.
ပြီးရင်ကြည့်လိုက်
This is a good answer to the Grimstroke. And Glyph, they're gonna be figuring out what to give Jackie here. I think it's going to be probably the same type of heroes that he's going to be playing.
ဒီဝဲနိုင်တဲ့လူနဲ့ OG နဲ့ဆွာမှာထင်တယ်
Maybe Lifesteal type of hero, something that can actually play with the team in the early game. Maybe even a
ဒီဘက် drag ကဆိုတော့မဆိုးလို့ပြောလို့ရမှာထင်တယ် single target တွေဆိုပေမဲ့လေဒီ green stroke ဒီ green stroke ကဒီ stone spirit ရောဒီပန်ကိုလီယာရောကောင်းတာရယ်
So Tiny, I like the Tiny suggestion, although I don't know how that matches up into the Ursa. I feel like Ursa is
ဖိုး
always
တော့အမ်မာဘန်ဝိုင်းဘရိုဘက်
pair that up with the
အမ်မာ
Slaughter
ရ
for
ပတ်
shred away
ရ
the
ဘန်
armor.
လိုက်
I'm not too
It's
sure
not
whether
his
Jackie will
shot.
be too comfortable.
I don't think it's
Quap,
his shot
go,
to kill
quap.
the Ursa.
ကွက်ကောင်းနေတယ်ဟို
So, I mean, if you're
ပန်ကိုလီယာလုံးနိုင်ပါလေအဲ့လိုမျိုး
multiple matchup and trying to finalize your
Sonic Way online လုံးမလို့တော့နေ row ကနေရက်သွား
to find a hero. I think the
Yeah, do
priority
like okay, no, terribly would be too crazy here, right?
ကွက်ကောင်းမှထင်တယ်
Enough control for that.
Sounds real လည်းနိုင်တယ်
maybe it can work. Maybe TB is good against Slada all the time. Slada doesn't like to play into illusion based heroes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I feel like the supports are going to have some trouble dealing with the illusions as well.
Yeah, TB.
ဟော cousin ဇက်နဲ့ဆွာမှာလား bro
But I know TB and
ကျွန်
Naga,
မကြည့်ရသေးလို့မသိဘူး
Oh, dude, I saw some juicy ass PL games in the Eastern European qualifiers yesterday. It looked pretty nice.
what was the
but,
build? Do you still go Phylactery? Or you go something
No,
else?
I don't quite remember the build. All I know is
Long
that
through that.
there was some crazy juke clip. I wasn't even focused on the item because this guy Dark Lord, he was just juking that room socks off. There's the Kaz. Okay, this is a Jackie classic. They're going to opt to play a bit more aggressive. Not really the body that I expected, but maybe someone that can deal with the Slada in the lane.
Yeah, very fast paced. He's kind of.
Yes, bro,
He
yes.
can fight early. He's not a body, but he can definitely fight early. He has a lot of damage.
မနေ့က
he's
နေ
very strong in the lane against
ဘာမှမလုပ်လိုက်ရဘူးတိတ်ပြ
I think it's just a very aggressive pick. I don't think it's bad by any means because it's not a front line, but it's just a different approach to how you want to play the game. And YG just finalizes the whole lineup with a Void Spirit. Games of the Void Spirit very, very good here against the Phoenix, Hoodwing, Storm, Pango. I kind of like we've been seeing a lot of this Void Spirit against this Pango hero because you have the physical barrier, so it's actually really, really strong against the Pango.
Yeah. And I think overall, YG's lineup looks very balanced, right? Sure, they might be lacking a little bit in terms of team fight, but I can see how their draft is going to play out. On the flip side, I look at Glyph. I am a bit concerned about 3 of their cores because yes, they're pretty mobile, but if either 2 of them get tagged by the Grimstroke ultimate, I don't know how they're going to operate in these fights. It's going to be so tricky to
put on Vice Spirit. Vice Spirit by
the Void Spirit. On the bright side, I guess Glyph are playing some of their comfort heroes. Maybe this will put them in a better position than they were up against OG.
I do feel like the Grimstroke is not really going to be a problem because Pango and Storm can actually find him. So the way you want to do this is I think you should always send the Pango in to test the waters and to find the Grimstroke.
Okay.
And then if you find the Grim and you can't go on him, the Storm can just go on the Grimstroke alone. So there's a fair bit of coordination needed because of the soul bind. You really need to be sure who to send in first and how you're positioning yourself in the fight. You're basically on the Glyph side, you're trying to break their formation with the Pango and the Storm, whereas YG, if you look at their heroes, they need to be very close together, right? The Ursa, the Sada, the supports, they need the cores to protect them. They can't be exposed in the team fights, right? So I would say, in terms of ease of execution in the team fights, it's easier to play their whereas for YG, they have this type of like lineup where they need to maintain a certain amount of proximity.
ကျွန်တော်ထင်တာဒီ team fight တွေကတော့ဟိုဘက်ပူတာလို့ခံစားရတယ်ဘာလို့ Phoenix တွေဘန်ကိုနေဆိုဒီ team fight ကဟိုဘက်နဲ့ပို strong နေလို့ထင်တယ် lane နေတွေကတော့ YG ပူတာမထင်ပြီးဒီ soul line run fight တွေပါကြာရင် YG ကပူတာဗျ Ali ပိုင်းပူတာနောက် late game ရောက်သွားရင်အဆင်ပြေပါမလားဆိုရင်ပြီးရင်ဒီ KSA BKB တိုင်မင်းတွေပါဆိုရင်တော်တော်လေးအဆင်ပြေဗျာအဲ့အတော်တွင်ဒီမြင့်မှာပဲဆော့ပြီးဒီ run တွေကြည့်ဖိုးတောင်နဲ့ဆော့ပြီးတော့ BKB ရလာတဲ့တိုင်မင်းတွေ Russian တွေယူပြီးဝိုင်းတော့ mid game လောက်ကတော့ YG တာလောက်လေဗျာအရင် late game ရောက်ဝိုင်းတော့မနိုင်တော့ ကိုပြောရင်တော့ဟော vice ဖြစ်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်
but it seems like he's gained the respect of YG.
Oh, he's a man of many languages there. I didn't realize he can speak some Burmese. Bare minimum in C, you speak Tagalog, you speak some Thai, you speak some Bahasa.
Yeah. But he's lying. I just looked up what he said. Do not repeat that to your Burmese friends. Okay? Let's just leave
it's
it
always
like that.
nice to know, you know.
Yeah, don't say that. Do not say that. But we're going to start things off with some very, I guess at this point, characteristic late smokes. Seems like
what the fuck?
Sneak in with 2 heroes. Looks like they might be able to sneak one from under Glyph's nose. Maybe a 3-for-1 exchange. A 4-for-1.
No,
Did
what you
oh,
mean
no,
4
3
for
for 1.
Bro,
Okay.
4 for 1.
No, I got confused because Naman also has his name in all caps. So for some reason, I thought that was a YG indicator.
Was that a patch? Was that an extra bounty rune in today's patch?
My bad, sorry.
Kind of identity pony.
Let me go on that one. I hear you. Okay, well, it's not a bad situation because it's still even, mostly. They didn't lose all 4. That would have been really sad.
Tell that to the mid players. You know what they're saying? Screw you. Don't blame me if I lose my lane.
At least nobody died. You can. It could have been worse.
Yeah, well, obviously it could have definitely been worse.
Screen view yes, but John, low.
I feel like we're gonna get to a point where nobody even uses a smoke.
You just walk up.
No, you save it for first blood. I think it might get to a
Oi.
point where people will just do that.
Low live hero မပေါ်တော့ဖြစ်သွား
As in everyone's just trying to smoke later and later and later, and then
yeah, to get the first blood, because the runes like whatever, you know, everyone's so good at splitting up, ensuring that you get 2 anyway. So why not you try to use this one to get a kill instead? You know, just smoke late, very late.
You know. A pretty interesting smoke path from.
ညီမကောင်နေတင်ပေးတာတင်နေဟုတ်တယ် bro ram မှာတွေ့တဲ့အချိန်မှာပြောတာတင်နေ hero icon ပေါ်တော့လုံးလိုက်ပဲလုံးလိုက်လောက်ပဲရမှာတင်တိုင်ပတ်နေဘာဖြစ်နေ
Actually managed to get a kill on the opposing carry with that move, so surprised to not see them sort of pull it out again here, maybe to try something sneaky.
I gotta say that was my favorite smoke move at level 1. Out of all the games yesterday, we had like what 7 games yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is not a common lane. This is like Grim Stroke on pause 5. I don't know if it's going to stay and be a thing, because Grim is usually a hero that I associate with being a weak laner.
Yeah.
So you want to be with usually the off lane heroes, with the centaurs, with the Sladas, you know, whatnot.
Just because they're typically stronger laners, is I assume what you're.
And they have stuns, you know. It's easy to kill.
yes bro ကျွန်တော် control F နှိပ်တယ်ကျွန်တော်နှိပ်ပြရမယ်ကြည့်
weak laning phase is by putting him in a kill lane, in a lane that you can kill. But lane, there you go. Grim Stroke with
thank you
Ice
brother what the fuck ကျွန်တော်နှိပ်တော့ရမရအောင်
Just ran down.
Yeah, he was just trying to pull the wave, you know. I mean, Hoodwink
Wait.
is not the best heroes to pull wave. Any range hero usually is not exactly comfortable for you to pull wave, you know, but you only do it.
sorry ပါ
Spangler is you have a hard matchup into the Ursa, so understandably they're trying to not play the lane, you know, head on. Well, this bot lane is going to only get exciting, I think, level 3 onwards. Like, you know, Phoenix level 1, level 2, you don't really have exactly that much kill threat, but the moment you get level 3, you have like a huge power boost on your fire spirits, and together with the
fabulous ရပါတယ်ဘယ်လိုရပါကျွန်တော်မမြင်လိုက်ဘူး sorry bro brother.
Is there a concern for YG, because we know they started their draft with this sort of Rubik Slada duo, presumably to draft themselves a solid lane winning duo, and then now you're met with equal firepower with Phoenix Kez. If you're not getting kills, if Slada's just kind of 1-to-1 farming in the Kez, you're kind of giving Jackie a free lane, right? Is that
I think it's
for YG?
No, I don't think it's a concern. You're opening your draft out with Slada, you don't expect Slada to
မင်္ဂလာပါ bro
farming
မင်္ဂ
and
လာ
it's
ပါ
not doing bad. I think that's already great. Like the pick sequence really matters a lot. If you're picking the Slada late and he's not winning his lane and you're not getting value, then it's bad.
Right, you've basically lost the value of waiting.
စီကွမ်စီမရှိတော့တခုလိုနေလည်းမခံစားဘူးလား
So in that case, since this Jackie Kez is the last pick, do you then need to win this lane? Do you need to crush this Slada?
Yeah, I think he definitely has to like, at least do something, you know, have a CS advantage.
ကက်စတာရီကဘယ်လိုတေချာမပြဘူးလေဟုတ်တယ် bro အဲ့ဒါတော့ဟုတ်တယ်အင်္ဂရကြည့်ရင်အရင်နှစ်ဟွာဖြစ်လို့
The blood grenade out, one last auto attack is all that's needed.
နောက်ကြလို့အေးဖိုးတော်လာကန့်သွားပြီနှစ်ကောင်လုံးလာ
Jokum finds him through the tree lines. Yesterday, Glyph, we just did not see their supports really make much movements to the mid, but today, 4 minutes, Emo calls them over, says, get me this kill, get me this rune. I know what I want.
I'm more important than you, Jackie, for now.
You got last pick Kez, I got 18 pick Storm, I need runes, okay? Don't mess with me.
And the two carries taking a bunch of harass in the lane because they're support.
ဟိုဘက် lane နေနေကောင်းနေပြီနော်ဟိုဘက် lane နေနေတာယာနေတော်တော်လေး
happening. Like,
stone လည်းတော်တော်တာယာနေမြက်မှာ
the games you have to
carry လည်းတာယာ
runes a lot, even from 4 minutes. You know,
ဝိုင်းကျ lane နေနေနေဗျာနော်
side lane calls, you have to make sure that you pick calls that can actually sit in the lane without danger of dying too much. You know? So you don't really see heroes like Drow, you know, especially a lot because Drow
See where- ပြည်လဲမဲနဲ့မှာတွေ့လိုက်
because of the mid lane, you tend to
အဲ့နေရတော့အဲ့ပဲဒီချိန်သူ
Very easy to just get
ဖယ်သွားမှာ
especially if,
အဲ့နေလောက်လေ
like, let's say, hell, even the opposing carry can come to a twin gates and maybe
it's
help
the
the off
twin
laner
gate,
to
bro.
dive in.
I tell you all these weak carry heroes like
အာဒီမှာကျတော့ creep ဟိုးရပြီလို့ပန်ကိုက creep အများကြီးပဲသွားပြီ
Yeah, the twin gates.
And now you need the whole concept concept of like these bodyguarding position 5s like Tree and Protector Clockwork just to keep you safe, to even make the pick viable, right? If not, you just constantly get run at.
It's also not just because of that, because your mid laners, they need the supports at crucial timings, right? The 4-minute water rune, the 6-minute power rune. So you have to be able to live on the lane alone, you know, as a
Oh,
carry.
look at this. Both teams using the glyph to keep the catapult alive. They're putting on immense pressure. Good news is that skill they able to deny the haste through.
ဖိုးအောင်တိုက်ပြီး level 2လဲမြူတာဖြစ်မြူတာမြူသွားပြီး
Level and dissimulate and no help. YG, they had both their supports nearby, but they were just not in position to help their mid, and Emo continues to extend his lead.
The Rubik Dreamstroke definitely showing their weakness. They are not as strong as the Hood Lane plus Phoenix and all these early fights, you know, so they are getting abused hard.
I'm kind of surprised that Jokum's
ဟိုဘက် support ရတော်တော်အလုပ်လုပ်တယ်ဗျ what the fuck
lane and secure not one but 2 kills.
မက်ကိုလာဟိုလေ4မိနစ် run လဲလာတယ်6မိနစ် run လဲလာတယ်
You're starting to sort of
ဖိုးတော်နှစ်ခါ short သွားပြီဗျ
Defend the shrine.
9မိနစ် run ကိုလာပြီ
Young PH is not using his CP, he's saving his CP. He's walking to the mid lane, but he's level 5.
အော်အပေါ်မှာ TP ကြပြီ short တက်လိုက်ပြီ
a bit of a split maneuver. You'd think with the supports on Glyph posturing for this bot lane shrine that Emo would be right there with them, but spots out the opportunity to bully that Ursa. Gets a kill. I mean, Emo, he is starting this game on the right foot. Compared to the mid diff yesterday, this is a completely different look.
Yeah, I think probably they're gonna try to do this more. Hit Emo's hero till later. Don't open with his hero. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change every series or it's just something that they want to do in this particular series.
Because Emo's Storm Spirit was banned out against him the entirety of yesterday.
Yeah, historically, he has always loved to pick his comfort heroes right away. So he doesn't care about the matchups and he just wants to play his heroes. And I don't know the adjustment they made this game is going to stay or it's just series specific, right? Because different opponents, you know that they have very vastly different priorities. So you have to change the way you play and stuff according to your opponents.
Onto Young PH again, but he's level 6, so he should be able to
အေး stone ရလိုက်မဆိုဖောက်လို့မရဘူးလား
still able to escape.
အော်ကောင်းတယ်ကွာဖိုးတော်ဟိုဟာနဲ့ short ရ grenade နဲ့ short ရ
Zeal's shown up, looking for a roll.
ကောင်းတယ်ကောင်းသေးတယ်
They cut the tree, but should get knocked down. They will manage to get 2 return kills.
ပန်ကို TP ရ roll ရလိုက်တယ်
Good rotation there from Zeal to salvage that situation. But first, I mean, YG bringing the numbers to finally address Storm Spirit.
They're still losing 2 kills there, not very ideal. Good response from
slide တော့ထောင်ဆော့လိုက်အဆာကိုပေးဖမ်းလိုက်
kills there.
yes အဆာအခုလေတာရတော့တာရပဲ
Does not want to stop. There's one
No,
point in the bottom
ထိတ်ဆုံးပဲဆို
gonna TP in.
Yeah, watch out for that silence. Loon can catch you off guard. There's
ကောင်း
already
လေ
an enrage, and now Emo silenced up for now. Zeal still should be
short ပြီ
fine.
ထင်တယ်
Now that enrage is over, this Ursa is in big trouble. Can't stand up into the static damage, and he will drop. So Emo, he has just started the engine early today. Doesn't matter that it's just in the afternoon. He's ready to rumble.
Yeah, I really like the way he's moving on the map. He has already kind of created some sort of gap with him and the Void Spirit. And he knows that the Void Spirit can't really help, right? So whenever you see the enemy mid laner TP to the lane, you should definitely TP to the side lanes. You know, if he goes to the mid lane, you go to the other lanes to set up for a kill. I think this is a very smart thing to do on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, and the problem is
ဖိုးတော် EU ပဲဆက်မှာဗျာနော်ဒီ vice bit
typically when the other mid lane
EU ရဲ့ဆက်မှာအေးကောင်းတယ်ပြန်တော့ရောက်လာပြီ
but Phoenix is in the way, just getting
EU ရဲ့ဆက်မှာဆိုဒီ stone တို့
he's not really under any
ပန်ကိုလို့သူဖမ်းလို့ရတယ်ဗျ
from just sitting here.
green step လေးနဲ့ဆော့မဆိုးပါ
Just within the mid, but also getting a
level item ညနေလိုတယ်ဗျ
10 minute power run, this is going to be, I think, advantageous for Emo. He has a Phoenix with level 6.
looking for the dive in into potential egg, but just throwing out some spells onto Young PH to deny this area. It's going to be an arcane snatched away by Skillay. Right place, right time, but maybe wrong place to stay alive. At least you deny it from Emo, but you give him another galvanize. That can't feel too good.
It's not too bad. I think it's worth to deny the rune. Maybe he probably should have tried to just right click.
ဟိုဘက် support level မြင့်ချက်ပဲဟုတ်တယ်
Right clicking would
ဒီကောင်လေး gan နိုင်ဒီကောင်လေးလှုပ်ရှားတိုင်းအောင်မြင်တယ်
maybe he is going to have a better chance of surviving. But overall, I think he made the right call, putting his body on the line to deny the rune.
Zeal might be in some trouble here, getting grouped up upon. He smelled that something was amiss, so he's farming further
Oui.
back, but able to swash, rolling. He got away getting out of this one. Doesn't seem like it. Inkswell's got a pop, but still, the roll getting silenced, saved it to the last moment. And Zeal, he will drop. Really good discipline there from Loon to hold on to the spells, but now he'll pay for it with his life. The two supports from Glyph today, they are on a different level. They are just responding everywhere in a timely fashion.
Yeah, not really timely enough to save the Pango, but they managed to get a kill in return. Not the worst, but this is favorable still for YG, getting the core kill, only losing a support. And they're gonna gate with the Kaz, trying to
မိုးကြီးလည်းတခါရ
to the tower. Nice move here.
I mean, all things considered, the Void Spirit is still keeping up net worth-wise. With the deaths that he got early on, I thought he'd be further behind, but I think Young PH doing an excellent job at just finding these opportunities where he can.
And he's also building into the use this game, so to make sure that he actually has a way to catch the storm. I actually kind of like that instead of getting the vessel this game, because they kind of need some catch before the Slaughter has dagger. Rubik and Grim, they don't provide you with catch, so I like the use build on the Void this game, the Void Spirit.
Yeah, we saw it used very, very well by Ken yesterday. Maybe it can catch Emo off guard. What's Emo going for? Is he going for a Witch Blade? Doesn't have anything queued up just yet. Good amount of gold on him though, and a Sage Mask.
I don't think there's anything else you can buy, right? I think Witch Blade is kind of like the default best build right now for Storm. Soul Ring Witch Blade after your Dreads.
I saw some Kayas or some Orchids in certain matchups, but I'm not sure whether that's real.
Yeah, I think the Kaya Rush is like too greedy. I think when having the Witch Blade is just, you can fight early, you can join your team, you can get this. Because with Storm, you always want to have some opportunities to kill off support. I think it's very normal for you to run into support because of the nature of your hero. You run into a support being
Cause
they're shopping at the dead wave, and you get a kill, you know. If you
Asa
get Kaya,
tare
you
mala
get a kill 'cause you don't
Yes
have
bro Asa တာလားဆို Asa အင်းမော
Think of this.
နည်းနည်းပူတာမယ်ထင်တာပဲ
So he's going for the Deso. Is it?
ဒါပေမဲ့ဟိုကောင် fly နေပါရသွားတဲ့အချိန်ကျရင်တော့
You never really go for the Battle Fury anymore. That's too greedy.
အဆင်မပြေဘူးသူကပူပြီးပူကျန်းသလားလို့
Battle
စပယ်ရ
Fury, you're against illusion here. For
တော်တော်များများပါတယ်
me,
ဆို
if that's the only situation.
escape လည်းပါတယ်
Understanding Battle Fury is
ပြီး
very
Asa အရင်တော့ဟိုရှက်အရင်တော့ရှက်နေဆိုရင်ပူနိုင်တော့တယ်ဗျအခုက ဒီ level 6သုံးပြီးသွားတယ်ခြားဘာမှမရှိတော့ဒီကောင်
Otherwise, I think you
ဆောင်းပျော့သွား Asa
yeah, otherwise I think Desolator or Mage Slayer, those are the builds where you go for because it abuses the fact that Kaz is really strong in the early game. You can fight with your spells. And going Battle Fury just wastes a lot of the potential that you have in the first 20 minutes on this hero.
Sure. So far, we haven't really seen Jackie get involved yet. That's been a hallmark of his throughout the past month or so.
I mean, he
He's just
gated
happily
once.
farming.
He gated
Sure.
once.
To hit a tower. Yeah,
hit- yeah,
I can
to hit
respect
a-
that.
So he's been involved, technically.
Yeah. If we're playing on the technical terms, yes, he has been involved indeed. He's also been involved largely in killing a lot of these creeps. That's
carry ရှင်ဘယ် hero တာကျွန်တော်ကဟိုကကြိုက်တယ်ပဲ KE စကြိုက်
maybe playing
စပယ်တွေအများကြီးပါလို့လေ
playing this indecisive on Glyph. They were grouped up around top with the Zeal diffusal timing. Went down to the bot. Now TP in mid. Meanwhile, Momo, he's just got his blink, so now he's looking for a kill potentially on Kez.
No, they even used the road to secure the rune.
Kez is dead here. A bit of an unfortunate
Live,
isolated
bro.
timing.
Brother,
Won't
Piolo.
surviving this one though. This time round, Glyph a bit too slow.
တခါရမှ smoke တာဗျနောက်ဆိုဒီကောင်နာကပ်ဖို့တိတ်တော့မလွယ်လို့အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်
Shoot onto
Sla တခါရ smoke တုံးတယ်
Nice jump in. Soulbind onto one hero. That's not really gonna.
အော် HP ရောလည်းမယူရသေးဘူးဟာ
But now it's gonna open up the.
They
wisdom
are-
shrine. It's still here.
That was quick.
Okay.
That was very, very quick from Glyph, moving from the rune to the bot lane. And they get the kill, they get the rune, I mean the Wisdom Shrine. And they made something bad into something great here. The
Yeah.
cast kill felt like, okay, maybe they shouldn't have rolled. You know?
ရုံးကမယူရမိဘူးကောင်းရှိဘူး smoke သွားဆိုတော့ရုံးမယူသေးပဲနဲ့သွားလိုက်တာ
Kez has now gone up to the top side to farm.
ပေးလိုက်ရ HP ရော
Start running with the team just to get some Deso charges up.
I mean, there's always a danger against Grim Stroke, you know. I think if you don't have a dispel for the silence, you're always going to be in trouble in a team fights here. So he's trying to get to his defensive item first before he starts to be more active. Roshan is moving towards bottom. Sada
YG.
sees Roshan, so he's definitely thinking about it. If we get a kill, we have Ursa and Sada.
They're setting a bit of a trap, trying to use young PH as a bait. The rest of YG, they've been waiting around this area for a while now, hoping that Glyph try and get that juicy Void Spirit. Could be a really big blink crush into the soul bind. They're looking at Seal. There's the crush. They can't pull him over. But
အေးပန်ကိုရင်ရကောင်းသွားရင်နော်
be dead. In comes Emo looking
ခဏပြေးတာပါအောင်စပိတ်မရှိသေး
land on the starter. Nice remnant to stop the Phoenix, but still a very nice egg in the middle of the river. Ursa's gonna come up, try and finish that off.
ကောင်းတယ်ကွာ KS
Can't. The bushwhack
TB
comes
သုံးပြီးတော့
again. And now they're looking for more. No more enrage. Emo, he's now on the hunt, but he's gotta watch his HP pool.
ကောင်းတော့ကောင်းနေပြီကောင်းနေပြီလုပ်ပါအောင်
But now Kez, Perry needs to
တစ်ချက်ပဲ
KSKH will survive. Wins
ဟဲ့မသေးသေးဘူးကောလုပ်ပါအောင်
Jackie's alive. The Yules
ဟာ
they need to finish
အေးတော်သေးတယ်
timed. They still will find the Kez in the end, but at the very last moment, young PH, he got a little bit too handsy with it, and he ends up losing everybody on his team along with him.
Yeah,
What
that
a
was-
huge team fight.
That was a very, very, I think, surprising outcome because the start of the fight was very.
မဆိုးဘူးဗျာမဆိုးဘူးဗျာ
I
နော်
think the
fight
Panther
လေးရ
kinda played way too
ဒါပေ
aggressive.
မဲ့ Slayer နဲ့ဝနဲ့ဒီပန်ကိုနဲ့ဝနဲ့ကတော့နည်းနည်းဟနေတယ်
He tries to.
Slayer
maybe
နဲ့
he was baiting intentionally. I don't
မတ်
know.
တော့မွတ်နေတယ်9000ပဲ
Comes
ရှိ
down
တယ်
to the bot lane, but he dies without doing his role.
Yeah.
They get another kill. on
အေး
Storm.
စကေးလေးဘယ်လိုဖြစ်ဒီနားကြီးရောက်နေ
Enough.
What
It
the
was
fuck?
Very, very important that Jackie actually showed up to the fight, you know, because
Yeah.
it could have been really bad if Jackie wasn't there to tank some damage and deal some damage.
Yeah, I wonder whether it was necessary for the Ursa to press enrage while killing off the egg. I guess he was worried that he'd be chain stunned and he wouldn't be able to finish it off. But that reinitiation from YG felt a bit risky, especially since
Yeah, but it's
Glyph
also-
heroes were still.
It's also understandable because they got a really nice bow buying off on the Storm and the Phoenix
အေးဟိုဝင်ကဘယ်လိုဖြစ် level 7တက်
in
တော့
front of their tower.
ဓာကမခုံနိုင်ဘူးလား
I
ဒီ
think it's a very human reaction thing to do, you know, to try and kill
Sure.
the egg.
It's kind of like one of those things where you
ကောင်းတယ်ကောင်းတယ်ဓာကမခုံလိုက်ရတာပိုတော့ကောင်းသွားပြီ
get away with it. Emo still trying to zip in, needs to deal with this embrace.
လုပ်ပါ
A
အောင်
bit more mana to zip, but not enough distance.
Oh.
Punished, but Jackie there again to clean up because of Glyph covering for each other. And now
Oh.
Ursa's gonna come over, get a swatch.
ဟိုကောင်လေးရရောက်လာပြီဘယ်ရောက်လာလဲမသိ
Change, that's not fair. And Jackie, he's gonna make it one more, perhaps. No, the two supports able to.
ဖြစ်နိုင်သေးပါဘူး game 1
Get
ပေး
the
တော့မ
kills
ပေးရ
by
သေး
the skin of their teeth, but
ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့အဆာနန်ဝါရှိတယ်
playing so aggressive. It feels like they're just showing up everywhere on the map.
It's also the lineup because they have better team fight in this stage of the game. You have the roll, you have the egg. YG's heroes, I think they're just better at
TT,
splitting up
oh.
and going for like small little fights, skirmishes around the map, pickoffs. Like in a head-on fight, if you don't have BKB right now in Sada and Ursa, you're not really winning the fight against this roll, the egg, you know, all this magic damage. That's too much, you know. So they should be definitely trying to play on the side lanes and look for a kill into Roshan.
Radiant are scanning.
I will say the Glyph supports are pretty absurdly rich. Jokum's already finished off a Yules, and that'll be very annoying for the Ursa to try and play into. You look at Naman as well, he's got a full Solar Crest along with his Tranquils. You compare that to what YG have right now, it's not a lot on both the Grim and the Rubik. Just one shawl apiece.
One shot apiece. That's the
Yeah,
deal.
that's literally, they literally both have a shawl each and nothing
မိနစ်
else.
40မိနစ် 40
Back in the day, it would be one bracer.
Back in the day, it was a cloak, perhaps a value cloak. Rest in peace to that item. Too expensive.
BKB နေ
Back in the
BKB
day
နေ
when
ဟုတ်တယ်
a
ဗျ
slot
BKB
for
လိုတယ်
Solo
လိုတယ်
and a slot for Sen.
ကျွန်တော်ထင်တာမိနစ် 40
Back in the day,
No,
we
no,
didn't
bro,
even
say
have
that.
the two. It was just defense of the ancients. Emo. Okay. Oh, this is just gonna be a support kill.
That was actually a very strange.
Yeah, how did they even just?
Why-
get
why
up?
would
Like,
they,
why were they?
Yeah,
Right.
why was no one holding?
တခြားကြည့်မှဟိုဘက် mobility ကိုဦးစားပေးထားဟုတ်တယ် bro
Maybe YG felt like they just needed to book it out because they can't fight. They need to farm BKBs and GameShock kind of felt like okay, I have no
I
purpose.
don't know if they can finish this rush. I don't think they can finish. He's gonna start moving. Electric Vortex at the last moment. Oh, that was scary. Jokum kind of flubbed the bushwhack.
မိနစ် 40မကျော်လောက်ထင်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ထင်တာမိနစ် 40မကျော်လောက်
Play from
Ro-
there,
there's
because-
there's no freaking way that Roche gets affected by bushwhack. He's just way too huge, you know.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You're telling me you throw a bit of rope on him and suddenly he can't move? That's some bullshit right there.
Yep. And now, Glyph is gonna get Roche into Tormented, so they are in full control of the game. Oh, Phoenix is praying, please, Gaben. I don't want to buy my. That feels so good.
Okay, but to be
ဟိုဘက်
fair,
Phoenix
either
ဟို
way,
ဒီဟို
if
ဘက်
we
support တွေ
lose,
ကဒီမှာ
right, like
EU
Glyph
တွေရောဟိုဟာတွေရော
Ramen, either one of them
Solar
on the
Credit
start
deal.
would have been pretty safe.
Bro, if you're comparing,
အိုင်ဒန်နဲ့ဆောင်းများတယ်
full wing, Phoenix all the way.
Really?
But you smell that small little hint of biasness to Phoenix.
A little bit, yeah. I can smell it from a mile away. I'm in Singapore, but I can still smell it.
Bro,
Just
like, Phoenix shot is better. Phoenix shot.
I guess so, but I think you talk about like how often the shard will be used, right? I think with the way that Glyph are playing, this boomerang would just make these kills happen so much quicker.
Alright, that is actually a fair point. It might actually be better
I
because
mean,
of the storm.
there's good value on both sides, right? Like I can see what you're saying. It's just that right now the egg is such a. It feels a little bit trivial because so far we've only seen one egg and then the Ursa just overpowered it. So maybe it's a bad sample size right now.
Yeah, gotta wait for more team fights, you know.
ဘိုးတော်ကြီးနဲ့တွေ့တော့မယ်တော့ဘောဘော
Young
Dog.
H
အေး
caught by a point
ကံကောင်းနေကျိုးရတယ်ပဲ
gets sit down and now Naman will just
nice nice
that is not what the supports on Glyph
လေး
want.
လေး
They
လေး
can't
ဝတ်တယ်
hit each other a little bit there and now Emo he has to deal with this silence. Jackie coming, I hear a roll, Momo in trouble and they're looking at the backline but it's a nice soul bind onto 2 to keep the storm at bay. I think overall that's not too bad. YG they're facing off into a storm ages and they still get 2 support kills.
Yeah, that was some anti-synergy right there with the storm and the bushwhack.
Jackie, he's up front all by himself.
အေးဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့မှာ
Now Emo's losing the ages as well. Glyph.
No roll.
No, what is happening? No roll.
Nice,
Now
nice,
Emo
nice,
gets
nice.
control. 4 heroes down for no damn reason.
The trolls are real. Just a moment of lapse in concentration there. Like they definitely should have just backed off, you know, but they kind of just kept
ကမ်ပန်းနေပြီ
taking
တဲ့
a very aggressive posture.
ဒီ
because
ဟို
they feel like
green
they're
stroke
so
silent
aggressive.
တော်တော်အလုပ်ဖြစ်နေတာလို့သိလား
Like, these are very very human.
stone လည်းဟိုဖြစ်တယ်ဒီ
commanding lead
gas
and
ကို
they
လည်း
just
နိုင်တယ်
one-
ပေါ့
one
ပန်
step
ကို
back.
လည်း
I
ကောက်
mean,
တာ
you still feel like guys don't worry.
ကိုရင်ကြီးမသိရင်ရတယ်
And you die again. It's a very very human thing to do.
Zeal is having himself a pretty decent game on this Pango, but now being hunted down. YG, they're on the prowl. Young PH making this use work for him, and they'll find themselves.
Nice,
another
nice,
ends up
nice.
Being a full delayed extended team wipe. Glyph, they lose all 5 members from really
that was-
nothing gained at
That's
all.
like 4k goal. I'm pretty sure almost around there.
Yeah, went from 9 to 4.
That is
Okay.
a huge turnaround. I mean, YG's heroes, they actually scale incredibly well, you know, with the Sada, the Ursa, the Void Spirit. So a troll like
Yeah.
that actually matters a lot.
100%, and now the Ursa's the top net worth over the Kaz, who's had a pretty free game up until this point.
Yeah, Glyph are definitely gonna have to
KSC မှာလည်း BKB ပါလာပြီနော်ဒီ ASA မှာ BKB ပါလာပြီပြီးရင်
try to wait for everybody to be alive, shove the waves, and then try to.
တော်တော်ချလို့အဆင်ပြေနေပြီနော်ဥလည်းခွဲလို့ရပြီ green stone နဲ့လည်းတူတင်မင်းလိုက်ဝင်လို့ရပြီ
Like the storm is still very very strong. It's just a matter about finding the right initiative.
စတုံးက BKB လိုသေးတယ်တကောင် green stone နဲ့
Game
တိုင်ပတ်
will change a little bit once Emo gets his BKB. That's probably what they're waiting for now. There are too many complications in this fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Jackie looking at that as well. The BKB timings are going to be big, right, for both sides. So once those come out, the complexion of the team fight changes immensely. Ursa already has his secured. You got Slada working on his. I don't think Void Spirit and Pango really need theirs. Probably fine.
Dire are scanning.
ကဲ smoke ထားတယ်
But yeah, YG
green stone ဟိုဟိုဝင်းနဲ့တွေ့မယ်ထင်တယ်
a little bit of an advantage now. and
Who
they
winning?
want
Who
to try
winning?
and Push the issue. Jokum? Okay. He's gonna get caught. He breaks the smoke, I guess. Runs straight into enemy territory. And he can smell there's something wrong, right? There's a bunch of heroes here. Why are they grouped up like this?
ဟေး chain ရကျန်းလိုက်တာ what the
That's a
fuck
nice attempt.
အဲ့တွေ့ယူတန်းလျှော့
Nice attempt. Almost got out. Almost.
Yeah, but he gives Rubik sharpshooter, which is a bit scary.
Oh.
ဟိုဘက် BKB fan နေရဲ့အချိန်မှာ
Yeah.
တယောက်ရှင်းရင်ဖြစ်နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာလိုက်တက်နေတာကောင်းတယ်
No, Phoenix is down here.
ကောင်းလေကောင်းလေ
Two
That's how
supports
you
slain
know.
again.
That's how you know the supports are meant to be together. They're always ganking together or dying together.
Yeah, that's fair.
မိုးကြီးလည်းနှစ်ဝက်ပြန်တော့မှီလာပြီဗျနော်
Didn't have
9500ဆို
Radiant's bottom
So
has fallen.
9k gold lead down to a 4k. It's been a rough series of 5 minutes.
ဒီပုံစံတိုင်းဆိုမိနစ်40ကျော်ပြီမလား
I just don't know.
Yes
what
bro
to do
ပုံစံအဲ့လိုမျိုးဟိုဘက်ဒီဘက်
You know, you already said Winter, you said it's human. They feel
ကျော်လောက်ကျော်
to be there, but
ကျော်လည်းမသိတော့ဘူး bro ဒီပုံစံဆိုပြီးမှပုံစံကတော့မကျော်လောက်အခုပုံစံတော့ကျော်မယ်ထင်တာပဲ
just be running up all willy-nilly rollers like that. I guess YG's lineup is a bit scarier in that regard because your big cooldown, what is it? Enrage?
YG က9နေဆိုတော့ဒီတာဝါချိုးဖို့ကနည်းနည်းခက်တယ်ဗျအာစာကြီးဆိုမိနစ်40
They very, very
ဒီလိုမျိုးဆိုရင်တော့ကျော်လောက်
roll and egg. If they don't have those two spells, I don't think they can fight YG.
Yep. YG has BKB on Ursa now. This is a huge timing.
Yeah.
This game is, I don't even think it's 50-50 anymore. I think YG, even though they're still behind 3k, they're kind of in the lead, you know, just based on like the hero scaling and everything.
Yeah.
I think in the team fights now, the Ursa is a very, very big threat towards the egg, towards everyone.
So who's supposed to kill the
Suck-
Ursa? Because earlier on,
yeah
you said it's
ဖြစ်နိုင်
Yangon
ပါတယ်
as a
19កောင်
small
ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်
You have to kill the rest of his compatriots first.
Yikes.
I think Ursa is probably the last hero you can kill. Try to kite him.
brother
They
အကုန်လုံးဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်
double used on the support, so they have to use that to their best abilities. Try to kite out his BKB, and once he's out of BKB, then you can control him.
အိုးအိုးအိုးအိုး blind ချင်း
Fresh Abyssal.
အေးလောက်ပါအောင်လောက်ပါအောင်တယောက်တည်း
He didn't BKB to finish that kill off, but he forces some reactions and they still get the kill onto Joker.
ကောင်းနေပြီကောင်းနေပြီ
With Zeal, you can't afford to stick around. He will be able to roll his way back to safety, but this Ursa is a full-blown menace. The supports barely stand a chance.
Time to kill your ghost scepters. Time to run and flee in ghost form. And this game has gotten 10 times more complicated for Glyph.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a straightforward affair. They had themselves a pretty nice early advantage. Got a good Roche play as well.
ကိုရင်ကြီး HP ရောခိုးလုံးနေပဲ
The gold lead dissipating before their eyes. Maybe with that, the game 1 win as well. The position on the map is just
I mean, they
far
haven't
from
really
favorable.
smoked together and fight. I mean, I mentioned after the disaster, they probably have to find a timing to smoke together and take a fight, you know, but they haven't really been able to, to find that. They were just chopping up waves. Now they're BKB on Emo, they're Aghanim Scepter on the Pangreal. I don't think you wait any longer. It is time.
Same time, pretty scary to run up into this YG lineup at this point. You gotta worry about not
Bro,
just
ဖြစ်နိုင်ပါ
Ursa,
တယ်ဖြစ်နိုင်ပါ
but
တယ်
Momo has his as well. So he might start to become a threat for some of these backline heroes. Could just trip Emo up as well, right? If you just BKB run after the storm, keep him bashed up. His BKB doesn't protect him against that. So now you got Slaughter Bash, you got Ursa Bash, you got Soulbind. It's gonna be pretty hard for the side of Glyph to navigate these fights.
Radiant's top
And
tower
this is going to
is
be a
under
very important fight. I think if YG wins this fight, they're in full control of the game.
Dire's bottom
If they
tower
need to
is
find a
under
way
attack.
to,
ကဲဒီဘက်လည်းမတူနိုင်ပါလဲ
it is going to be difficult. It's not an easy. They have a gem on the storm to kind of remove some of the vision. But YG, if they can find a good angle here, Glyph needs to realize something is up. You know, they have to hold their high ground. If they're going on the low ground and they get jumped by the Sada, they're gonna lose the fight.
Moment of
Oh
truth.
no, Joe Cam. Joe Cam.
On the front lines again, instantly eliminated. Can they still afford to take this fight? Seems like it. Rolling coming out, looking for a target straight onto the Grimstroke, but Glimmer keeps him safe. Now Emo, Soulbind up, but he does have that BKB and the gem to work with. Has to watch himself. Soulbind does come out in the end, egg on the high ground. Now Jackie, ready to go to work. This is a good start for Glyph. Starting to pop the BKB, turning on
Eh,
the
eh.
But the Kez, he has to watch himself. He can't win this fight. Kez,
ကဲတရနေပြီတေးပြီတေးပြီလောက်ပါအောင်ဖိုးတော့အခု Oh.
Oh, the Lotus.
Oh. What the fuck ဝဲအောက်ပလေးဝါကြီးလို့ပဲတည်းကြီးကို What the fuck
That was a very
Naya
good
ma.
to initiate the back lines of YG. They found the Grim, they found the Rubik. They didn't really do too much on the supports. I think they did a good job with the roll, and the Storm did balling to finish off the supports. And I think Rama was also incredibly patient.
play နဲ့ GG game နိုင်မလား yes ဆိုကျွန်တော်ထိုင်းရောက်သွားပြီဗျ
He didn't even sweat. He just stayed on the high ground, waited.
ဟုတ်တယ် supernova ကြီးကောင်းอ่ะ
Round of spells off, and they were able to win.
အဓိကကိုရန်ကြီးကိုဟိုကောင်ကအရင်မြင်သွားတာဗျ
They stayed calm. They stayed
စတုံး
calm.
နဲ့ပန်ကုန်းနဲ့
They were able to pick up.
ဘာစပင်အောင်မတုံးလိုက်ရအောင်
Now into the Roche. We talked about this being do or die for Glyph. If YG were to win one more fight, it would have gotten massively complicated. But now, they're the ones into the Roche. You don't have your Ursa for another 15 seconds.
နောက်6မိနစ်ပဲဖြစ်နိုင်တာပေါ့ဖြစ်နိုင်
It
တယ်
seems like the call from YG is to just give this one up.
When you see the cat state of cards, he's actually not able to fight the Ursa head on. Like, Ursa
နောက်
is
6မိနစ်ပဲ AC ဖြစ်နိုင်ပါမီဂါချွင်းတော့6မိနစ်
Ursa is all about
6မိနစ်လောက်ကြာ
the Rubik, the Grim, I think even the Slada. The Slada is a very high priority kill because you don't want the hero to go in and out, land multiple crushes.
1k လည်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်
Yeah, keep being a nuisance, you know. So they definitely need to try to focus down all those heroes. I think the trio, the Slada, the Grim, and the Rubik, these three heroes are the heroes that you have to take out in the fights as the Pango.
Oh, 100%. That's a lot of work to do. But Glyph, they need to keep this one up if they want to stand a chance in the game, right? Like you mentioned, the fight's a lot more complicated now. At the start of the draft, we were saying it requires a bit of coordination. You need to know who's going in at what angle so you don't get soulbound, who's targeting the support, who's controlling the core. All of these things have to be discussed because you get too close to the bear, you're going to get ripped apart.
I'm
Jackie
surprised
has a
they didn't
butterfly down though.
Surprised they didn't buy any force stuff, you know. It's Rubik Live, there's Slada, there's Ursa. I mean, I guess it doesn't work against the Soulbind, but force stuff is kind of an item that I feel like they could actually change the fights, you know. If Ursa jumps in, he doesn't kill the support, one force stuff, you may just turn the fight.
Sure. And Ursa doesn't really like to buy that nullifier, right? It's kind of inconvenient.
ငှက်တွေပိုင်နိုင်တာဟို
And he has to buy MKB now because of the butterfly on the case.
Yeah. He will have it available in just 100.
ဘယ်တည်းရက်ကွာနိုင်မလို့လုံးနဲ့
Doesn't even feel that strong.
ကေကြီးစတေကန်နေလေလို့တွေ့ရ target ရဘယ်လိုဖြစ်သွားလဲဟိုကောင် flying ပါလာပြီဟာအာဆာလည်း MKB ရတော့မှာ
Smoke, this is going to be another important move here by Glyph. Pretty good one. They're gonna show the Storm mid, and they're gonna smoke in behind. But if Storm gets jumped and he doesn't pop BKB, if he dies, this could be bad.
That's why he's
Very
playing a little bit safe. But he's a bit far away from the rest of the team right now. Will he be able
ဖိုး
to
တော်ဘယ်လိုဖြစ်လို့အောက်တီးပြီးကြောက်ရလဲ
get the
ဖက်
watch
ဖက်
from Momo?
ပြန်လိုက်လာပြီ
For the
လုတ်ပါ
Slada, but they know that he's around the area. Maybe the bigger kill, KSH in the mid lane, but a full retreat. YG smelled something bad, but
မိုးကြီးမိသွားပြီ
didn't serve them well enough. Momo will get caught and killed, and he uses the BKB crucially in that attempt to survive. So he doesn't have that available, and he's dead for a minute.
Very good acting by Storm and very good warding by the support. A combination of two things that are killing off the Slada. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Momo is like, hey, why is the Storm showing in mid? Yeah, he can't be alone there, right? So he's like, maybe I can take another cap, you know.
This is one of those plays that only works against high-level players, right? Because Momo, he's working off of such limited information. He's like, okay, there's no way the Storm plays like this if he's just standing in mid by himself, right? But if any other, you know, you're talking to me. If I'm the Slada, I see the Storm in that mid lane. I'm like, yo, let's go for this kill. I would die. I would have died in that situation, to be clear.
That's why Dota is such a complicated game. At every different level, players play so vastly different.
Yeah, that's why I think it wasn't Sing Sing who said it's easier to land an arrow on a good player because you know how they're gonna move. You never know how these other guys are gonna move, right? Like the movement patterns just don't make sense.
Bro, it's not just Mirana, even Pudge, you know. I think it's easier to play Pudge at the higher
ဟိုနဲ့ high ground တက်တော့မှာဗျ
because you can predict what they're doing.
ages နဲ့
The lower area
ဟာမ
games,
တက်သေးမတက်သေး
literally
တော်
don't
သေးတယ်
know what they're doing.
Yeah, and like in the lower average games, the Pudge will literally camp a location for 2 minutes, and you're like, this is not good gameplay at all. But because he camped it for 2 minutes, he catches like a game-winning kill or some bullshit like that. Because
How
of
can
that,
you
no?
say that's wrong? How can you say that's
Exactly.
wrong? Singaporean?
If he wins,
Hide in the tree. Hide in the tree.
that's true. Shout out HY.
Stay in the tree. You know, bro. That was the best.
Got to show respect to my I don't even know what you call it. Would ancestor be too rough?
Bro, is he actually that old?
No. It just felt like so long ago, you know.
Yeah, but legit advice, stay in the trees.
Yeah. Nothing good has ever happened from leaving the trees. Nothing. Nobody has ever succeeded. Oh, holy shit! What? What the hell was that?
Just a casual zap.
That was so scary for no reason. Why did he? That was pretty funny.
He got out. That's what mattered, right?
He didn't even get a last hit. He just zapped the Kaz for fun.
Space. He just wants to create a diversion.
Well, he succeeded. He diverted me.
He sure did.
I got distracted for a moment there. Okay, Satanic for the Kaz, so maybe this fight will be a bit easier for him to take up into the Ursa, but now you have
Yes,
the
bro,
negatives
yes.
from Momo as well, so his survivability in these engagements
Take on
is
leave it.
dramatically increased. YG on the hunt, still not showing.
Hey, em mà băng ô.
Really close. He's gonna swash on the
Ê, em mà
wall.
dạy chắc
Kill.
con.
That happened so quick.
Nice. Băng ô ra lại
Animal abuse.
cao ai.
That's rough.
Radiant's
The King
middle tower
Pangolier got abused.
Pangolins are already an endangered species. You guys gotta stop, man.
Yeah, are they still on the endangered list?
I'm pretty sure they would be.
Dyer's
They are
top
hunted
tower
for their
is under
skin?
attack. Radiant's middle
Or meat?
tower is under attack. Radiant's
Probably a
middle
question you have no answer for.
Yeah, I don't know why you're asking me this. But all 8 pangolin species are currently threatened with endangerment.
အေးဖုန်းလိုက်ဖမ်းနေပြီဖုန်းလိုက်ဖမ်းနေပြီတတိထောင်းဟေးအတင်း
They don't turn around and fight.
အေး
You also save
တေးပြီလားမသိတေးသေးတော်သေးတယ်ကောင်းသွားပြီကောင်းသွားပြီ
this fight without their pango.
yeah စစ်တန်းနေကြီးနဲ့
Satanic, and the A's gonna blow
what
up.
the fuck
Skill Lake, he's trying to do it, but somehow Glyph, they've been able to do it off the back of a huge egg from Narman. The tips rightfully come through. 4v5, it's not a problem. Glyph, get it done.
How
စစ်တန်းနေကြီးနဲ့အရင်လိုက်လို့ဖြစ်သွားတာ
Damn idea, bro. I have
they
no
lost the
gun.
Pangolier against the Phoenix got jumped and he dove away and the storm went in at the same time. But it worked out. The egg and the sunray behind Satanic on the cast. He didn't die, he survived the gang. And everything was over. Just in a blink on an eye, YG lost 4 heroes.
Dude, I feel like that
Bro,
must have
the-
been a Jackie
the
call
void-
because he's
The
standing
void
there fighting.
spirit, he was the one that initiated and he was the one that lived. And the rest of his team all died.
Wait, he didn't die? How did he live? What's happening in this game? I actually have no idea.
Am I tripping? He didn't die.
No, I don't think he died, you're right. But, like, why? I mean, I get it, right? On paper, you have MKB, you're getting this Kez really low, but a combination of all these satanic heals, the sun rays, the teammates helping him out, Jackie was just able to stand there and deliver. Maybe there's something about this Kez late game matchup into Ursa that we're not too clear on, but Jackie surely knows what's up.
Dyer's bottom barracks are under attack.
Here comes the initiation. Round 2 onto Jackie, rolling thunder to try and cover him. Sunray there as well. Sobai not really gonna do anything.
ဟိုဘက်ဘယ်တဲ့ဆိုင်တော့တော်တော်ကောင်းနေပြန်နော်
Get that roll out.
ဟောလေစပယ်ပေးရရင်နည်းနည်းကောင်းတယ်
And Glyph have escaped.
Yeah, they have finally
ပန်နဲ့ကိုင်းနဲ့ကောင်း
found
လေ
the
သုံးမ
right
ကြ
move,
ဘူးတဲ့
for the team.
ဟုတ်ပါဘူးဘာပြနေလဲ
All
မ
the
သိ
complications after the great start they have,
Dyer's courier has been killed.
they're finally on the verge of ending the game. I mean, why you just on a couple of occasions just not really being able to win the crucial team fights, whether it's execution or spellcasting, and they just got outfought by Glyph. I'm pretty sure those couple of fights which they lost, they were all happening when Glyph actually didn't have 5 heroes. Glyph lost 1 hero somewhere, and then they decided to take the fight, but they were still able to overwhelm them with either the Phoenix or the Storm Spirit.
Yeah. I mean, the first fight, it was the Jokum catch on the low ground, right? And then the second fight, it seems like as long as the Phoenix and the Kez are alive, it's completely fine. It doesn't really matter who else is dead.
Radiant are
But
scanning.
these 2 guys alone, Narman and
ရှုံးရင်ပြုတ်ပြီလားဟုတ်တယ်ပြောရှုံးရင်တော့ထွက်ရပြီဒီ
Yeah,
ပွဲ
this is like the
Damn it.
main,
BO3
downside.
ပါနောက်နှစ်ပွဲကျန်သေးတယ်
Single target heroes, they don't really have team fights. I mean, their team fight is basically the Soulbind and maybe the Rubik double lift, double Fable, that's pretty
yeah,
much it.
you want to count maybe some of the Void Spirit spells, but even that's low-key single target, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside. Void Spirit, Asa, Sara, they're all single target heroes.
Are scanning.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have a harder time in the 5v5 engagements.
Dude, this Phoenix is giga rich. He's like 1k net worth away from Slada.
It's about to get his refresher.
That's crazy. Aeon Disc, Refresher,
Yep,
Yules, and Solar Crest.
2 scrambled eggs for breakfast, you know, always nice. 1 is never enough, you know, man. You know,
ဟိုကောင်
like,
စကာရီနေ
one
လို့
and then you're like,
ကိစ္စ
yeah, you need the second one.
Oh, Jokum. He's on the low ground. And it might be Zeal who gets caught. Found, silenced, crushed, and killed. But still, Glyph, knowing them, they might just take the fight. Again, it's
Round
Jackie.
2.
They can't get Naman. There's a buyback available on this Pango, but Momo, he just can't even get out. Now, Young PH being looked at as well.
Phoenix ကြီးဆိုးလိုက်တာဗျာ
Change. This keeps happening. How does this keep happening?
You have to use BKB, you have to use Enrage to get the kill, and once you don't have BKB, you don't have Enrage. You're just dying to the magic there. It's just too much magic. I mean, Phoenix, Woodwing, Storm. And not to mention the cast, right? The cast just rips you into shreds if you don't have your defensive abilities up. And especially for the Ursa, if you don't have Enrage, you actually lose the man fight, you know, against cast.
I didn't think it would turn out this way. I
1 ရက် single target တွေများနေရဗျာနော်
able to outfight
အဲ
the
battle hero လည်းသိမ့်မပေါ့ single target တွေ
25, the Shoto side crit damage. You are ripping this bear into shreds. And just like they did 10 minutes ago for Glyph, things have just gotten way more complex for YG. You try and focus down the Kez in the fights, but then there's just a Sunray behind him. Again, it's just Naman and Jackie. I feel like the way that they're playing together, it's exactly what you need. Maybe you need to go on the back line and kill the Phoenix first, but if you try, he has an Aeon Disc and a potential first egg and second egg. He even has like the neutral item that gives him evasion.
They're
So-
not killing him.
Yeah, I don't think they're killing him.
Not killing him, you're not winning the team fight. The double egg is just going to be over. I mean, double egg, double sunray. Actually, you're going to have 4 sunrays
Oh my god.
if you can use all your spells.
If your opponents don't die before the first 2 sunrays, you still got 2 more to kill them. That's pretty crazy. Look at Jokum, he just full on safe, right? You got Glimmer, 2 huge Lotuses, Aeon Disc, and a Wind Waker. They understand YG's only game plan is to blow them up, and as long as they can survive, they'll be fine. Momo, not sure whether he's surviving this one.
ဟိုမိုးကြီးဘာမှမလုပ်လိုက်ရဘူး
Zeal doesn't
ဘိုင်မဲ့တော့ရှိရနောက်တော့8စက္ကန့်နေ
roll in the general direction and keep them controlled. The Grimstroke is just so difficult to pilot. Now Emo able to BKB away. YG, they're desperately trying to sink their claws onto
ဥရမီဟေး
but KSH, he's forced back into his face. The laser beam from the Phoenix burns them all down.
အာ
KSH again, even in his own fountain, he's not safe. That is cruel. Naman with an absolutely boss performance on this Phoenix. They're still farming them in the fountain. Emo will finally go down, but it's
Phoenix ကြီးရကြည့်ကြပါဦး GG GG
a moment where it felt like Glyph might have thrown away their lead, but then Ultra kill Jackie. They're gonna stay disciplined, no shenanigans there. They'll take game number 1 against YG.
GG ပါ brother
Top
brother ခဏလေးနားလိုက်အောင်နော် bro တခြားပွဲလေးဖွင့်ထားလိုက်မယ် ဟာပြောနေရနောက်ပြန်ကြည့်လိုက် Phoenix ဟုတ်တယ် bro Phoenix ဆိုတာ Hello ပြောတာပြန်လာပါပြီ
Glyph kind of gave them a couple of chances. That's not entirely reassuring if you're a Glyph fan.
Nope, that is worrisome. If you can't clean up YG
ပြန်လာပါပြီ brother တို့
from the start, how are you supposed to play against the better team?
Yeah.
ဟုတ်တယ် bro
It feels like the better teams
ဒီလို
like
စီးရတဲ့ချင်းနားထောင်
mistake and you're never seeing the lead in the game again. You know what I mean? Like you
Yep.
think you play against like Nemesis, even the Ivory from yesterday, OG, like these guys, they're not
One
gonna let you get
slip.
away with it.
You drop down to the hole and you'll never see sunlight
Dire
anymore.
team back.
Indeed. Stuck in the well forever. Well, on the bright side for Glyph, it's not like they are. You know, you compare them to some of these
10
longer standing
seconds
organizations and YG have basically been in
Radiant
every
team
close
back.
qualifier in Southeast Asia for what feels
Yeah.
like 2
Since-
years now, right?
Since 1981.
Yeah, since 1981,
10
YG, look it up.
seconds
You guys won't believe this one. Back then, when I was born, KSH was
seconds
already playing
remaining.
his 25th close qualifier.
Radiant
Crazy.
team back.
A lot of
Dire
history there in
team pick.
Myanmar Dota. But jokes aside, Glyph, they got off to pretty decent success playing some of their signatures. It's interesting that YG have switched up the bans completely to Ember, Pango, and Shadow Demon. Maybe they're just trying to throw out
Radiant
bans to
team pick.
secure something OP for themselves. Even though the Doom is in the pool, they've ignored it in favor of the Slada.
Why?
Girl, I don't know.
Why? I mean, does Momo have such a small pool that
Dire team back.
it must be either the pool that Momo has or they feel like they need to play in a specific way. He needs to be left alone
Dire
and
team
Sada
back.
is going to be able to
Radiant team
do that.
back.
I mean, there's
I'm
also the
not sure.
chance that Slada is. You said this in game one. Maybe it's a strong flex pick for them. Maybe they think they prefer having that
Yeah,
option of
maybe.
either Momo or Young PH, right?
But I kind of don't really feel the jam for young PH playing a Slada.
10
I think
I
he
get what
needs
you
to
remaining.
play. Yeah, he needs to play something more greedy, skilly. That's his style, right?
5 seconds remaining.
He loves the invokers. He loves the pucks. Slada just doesn't
Tickle
feel
that
like
same,
his-
tickle the same fancy. Yeah.
yeah,
I get
it's,
you.
it's not his style, you know. So I don't think it's a flex.
Radiant team
I don't
pick.
know, but clearly Glee feel like it might not be a flex because they're picking a
Dire
Storm right away.
team pick.
Are you worried versus Slada as Storm? I thought it was an okay matchup because the Remnants will push him
Yeah,
away.
yeah. I mean that's precisely why I'm saying
Oh, okay.
they're picking Storm
Okay.
into the Slada just in case the Slada goes mid. Storm can definitely handle with that.
Sure.
Storm is one of those intelligence
10
heroes that
seconds
is that gotten some special treatment from
remaining. 5
devs. You know,
seconds remaining.
he has
What do you
high
mean by
agility. Bro, you look at all the intelligence heroes. He has I think one of the, if not the highest armor or agility gain of an intelligence hero. Have
Right,
you
so on
ever
top of,
look at
being
it?
high spell damage, he also right clicks like a beast as well, is what you're saying.
He has high armor, bro, against Lada. That's what I'm saying.
Is high armor versus Slada that important for the
Yeah.
early laning stage?
Laning stage,
Because in my mind, you just stay away from him, and if he
laning,
tries to
laning
walk up to you,
phase, it still helps, but not as much as in the game. You know, later in the game, having high armor is because Lada plays on burst. He jumps in, he wants to annihilate the hero in 1 second.
sure.
But if you just somehow
10
don't die, then
seconds
you get your
remaining.
spells or your items off, then it completely defeats the
Radiant
purpose of
team
picking
pick.
Slada.
A bit of a switch up here. They still go back for the Grimstroke and into the Dark Willow. So I will say, last game the Inkswell combinations were pretty nice, but I didn't think much of the Grimstroke. I thought it was just a Pango counter.
Green Stroke
Now,
ထပ်ပစ်တယ်
once you
နော်
ban the Pango,
The
you
Willow
still
နဲ့
go for the Grimstroke and pair it with a Dark Willow. So maybe this is just Doon's favorite hero
5
right now
seconds remaining.
on 5. I don't know. I don't really like it though.
Mentor is so good here. Any illusion, Mentor.
ကျွန်တော်အဲ့ဒီ Slada နဲ့ဆိုရင်
Look at the things that you can spell.
Weaver တို့
Phantom
Tamla တို့
Blade,
ပိုကြိုက်တယ်ဗျ
those spells, the
နော်
Slada.
အဲ့လိုမျိုးဆိုရင်ပိုကောင်းမှထင်တယ်
I don't know
YG
really
က
like this.
Wait, couldn't you go Largo?
Anything that
Enchantress.
dispels is great. Look at this is the first dispel. Enchantress is the ultimate counter to Grimstroke.
Mhm.
Good luck playing Grimstroke against Enchantress.
And the creeps are also going to be so annoying, right? The Ench can build up these solar crests, these drums, get to a
You have to
tankiness
max-
level that
You have to max
10
Q against
seconds
Enchantress.
remaining.
That's the only way.
is stroke of fate, you mean?
Stroke of Fate.
But isn't the Dark Willow gonna be pause 4? Oh, Beastmaster, holy glyph. They're going quick.
Whoever they put on pause 4 is going to, I fear, struggle against Ench. You don't beat Ench with a ranged hero. You need to have a melee hero and pull creeps against Ench. Well, I'm afraid Yangon, they're stuck in a pickle here. There's gonna be a lot of Zoo heroes because Grim and Dark Willow, they don't do well against Zoo heroes. I think you have to max Q on Grim this game to push out the way.
Is there a chance that this is a Beastmaster pause 1 as well? Like to bully the Slardar? Like Ench Beast versus Slardar. Slardar is going to have a miserable time.
Maybe. I feel it's a faxer. He's just gonna bully. It doesn't matter where he goes. The two supports cannot handle Beast.
Both teams still ignoring the Doom. That's still something that's open, but I don't know whether either team actually want it. I thought it was the most OP hero of the patch. Everyone's banning it out non-stop. Why are we not seeing it anymore?
Good question, Mike. Good question.
Is it too greedy? Like maybe you pick the Doom now and then it feels too much.
I'm not part of the tournament, so I don't know what the team.
Well, you're a
Only
professional.
ဒီပွဲ 1G draw တော်တော်လေးသဘောကျနေပြီ
A speculator
ကျွန်တော်ကသဘောကျတယ်ဗျဒီပွဲကတော့
I think Doom is still strong.
Okay, so
But
what
they-
you're saying is you don't really understand why they're passing over it. Like you think it's like weird to pass it up.
Did they
အခုဒီ၄កောင်၄កောင်မှာကျွန်တော် 1G သဘောကျတယ်
as well in the qualifier? If everybody is
Some
passing up,
teams have ignored it entirely.
yeah, maybe the nerfs are good enough. When I saw the nerfs, I thought it was pretty darn small. You know.
Yeah, I did not think it was a big deal. I was like, okay, well, Doom's still kind of busted, right?
Yeah, he still lanes really well. Like the thing is, you give him heal on the regen on the Scorch Earth, and his innate has a lot of damage. I mean, they nerf it, but I still feel the hero is good. Maybe it dropped a level in terms of priority from S. But what were you saying yesterday? The first priority is what S tier, and then
Yeah,
there's
S tier.
A plus plus. Maybe he's in A plus plus right now, or A.
I mean, right now he's not even in this goddamn game. Not banned, not picked. A bit rough.
You never know. You know, there's still hope. 2 picks remaining.
These bans from YG have been very
10
strange.
seconds
The
remaining.
only thing I can make of this is that maybe YG and Glyph
5
scrim a
seconds
lot,
remaining.
and then there are a lot of heroes that they've seen Glyph pull out that they're worried about. Because now you're banning Dazzle again, you're banning Troll.
Good speculation, Mike. I agree.
No, that is genuine speculation. Because
Yeah, I said it
don't
was
think
good.
I
It
don't
was
think I've even
legit.
seen Glyph, because Glyph recently played, if I'm not wrong, it's EPL. And they have never picked this troll, ever. So I don't know what that's about. Do you think
Troll
they're
is
just
a
worried about the
Slardar.
Slardar or what?
Yes, Troll is a Slardar counter.
Is it
You
that
can't-
bad?
Yeah, you can't hit him because of the axe.
But is
Yeah,
Troll a
this-
real hero is the question.
No. And the
10
Aghanims
seconds
on Troll
remaining.
dispels... Bro, the Aghanims
Oh,
on
true,
Troll
the dispels, you're
dispels
right.
Slardar,
Oh, okay.
dispel Grimstroke. Yeah.
Dispels
dis-
Void. Okay,
below.
I see it. Bans
Not that,
out
not
on
that I'm
the-
advocating for Troll. I'm not saying I'm telling you to pick Troll. I'm just saying why it's banned here.
Okay, so right now with
1G ကဒီ Luna တို့ကျွန်တော် Weaver တို့ကြိုက်တယ်ဗျာ
I guess they are expecting this Beastmaster to be Zeal's hero. There's still a lot of laners in the pool. Other than Pango, nothing else is banned, right? You still have your
They-
Tides, your
You have to pick something that
Underlords.
is
Radiant
preemptive
team
against
pick.
Beast, you know. And lane against Beast. Okay, this
That
is
works.
decent. Starter plus Kess, very, very strong duo. A lot of physical damage. Terrorblade is already banned.
Kess
What
did.
else can they pick to counter the Kess? I feel maybe they're gonna pick an offlane hero. Doom is probably nice here. Doom the Kess.
10
I actually
seconds
don't know
remaining.
what. I don't know what carry hero counters Kez, to be honest with you.
Doom, you Doom in.
Okay, yeah, but Doom counters everyone. That's the classic.
မီဒူဇာပိုကောင်း
One high armor hero, so
ဒါကွာ
Morphling TV does not kinda. I don't know if Morphling is good because he gets,
မီဒူဇာလည်းမဆိုးဘူးเนาะ bro
direction
ဟုတ်တယ်
vision.
Okay,
အားလို့တော့ပဲ
according to
အဲ့
Dota buff,
တောင်းပြပြတော့မရှိဘူးဒါပေမဲ့
heroes that
EN တို့ဘာလို့လွတ်နေသေး
against Kez. Wraith King, Troll Warlord, which got banned out, Bloodseeker.
Okay, Bloodseeker I can understand. You can't move, your silence. The Rave
I'm
King one is very suspicious.
Yeah, Medusa is also pretty good apparently.
Okay, the Medusa makes sense.
But
Because
that's
it's
such a slow hero.
Cass is percentage based damage based on your HP, and Medusa has no
okay,
HP.
it doesn't make sense. Okay.
ကက်စတာရောင်ပြောနေပြီ
Faceless Void also pretty good. PL.
ဘန်နေရကောင်လေးပြောနေမီဒူဇာကောင်းတယ်
Okay, so it is going to be carry beast and Zeal on the offlane Tide. Tide is probably the best offlaner against Cass. That's what you were telling me yesterday.
Was I? Right, you have good memory. The
Oh,
dispel, the
မ
crack
နေ့ကလည်းမျိုး
dispel,
ခွာ
and
သွား
the
ပြန်ပြီ
good
ဟာ
dispel,
ဒီ
right?
ပီမဆာ
I think
carry ဖြစ်သွားပြန်ပြီ
can be both way because your dispel does. I don't know if they change it, but I remember every time you dispel. You
တိုင်ရ
don't
တဲ့
lose
တကောင်ပဲ
items embrace.
Yeah, I feel like Grimstroke's
ကျွန်တော်ကတော့ဒီပွဲ 1G ကြိုက်တယ်ဗျ brother တော့မသိဘူးကျွန်တော်ကတော့
dispel the same way as
1G draw ဒီပွဲ
You
တော်
gotta
တော်
be
ကြိုက်တယ်
vulnerable, right? Similar to the Weaver
like
Blast
a
for it-
Yos or something like that, right?
Yeah, for it to be removed, or you can try to hit it as tight with tight.
ဟီယိုက80ရာခိုင်နှုန်းလောက်တာရလို့ခံစားရတယ်ဗျ
It's gonna be awkward. But a lot of good Grimstroke silence targets this game, I wanna say. Like you throw it on Storm, you throw it on Tide, it's gonna be annoying for them.
Yeah,
What do
but
you think of the drafts though, with the way that YG have shaped things
the
up?
thing
I
is,
like
like-
the Cass pick.
I feel like the Glyph lineup is gonna be very overwhelming again in the early game. The Zoo, the Beast, the Enchantress, they're gonna be running over your supports. I feel like they don't really prioritize the support matchups. You know, that's what I don't like with the YG drafts in both games. They don't really put a lot of like emphasis on securing the matchups or the duos. You know, like when you play Grim, you want the other hero to be sort of like more like a frontline hero.
AM လဲပါ AM ပါလဲ BKB သွားတဲ့ကောင်မဟုတ်တော့ Dewi လို့ root ပြပါရဲ့အဆင်ပြေမှာဟုတ်တယ် bro
They have
Ah,
good
hold it.
defenses, you know, that's
AM BKB မဆက်တော့
YG draft.
တိတ်ဆက်တဲ့ကောင်
Yeah,
အဲ့တန်း
thinking
၄ခုမြောက်တို့၅ခုမြောက်တို့မှဆက်တာဆိုတော့
Rubik plus Slada, that
ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ကောင်ဘယ်ထဲမှာဆော့လို့တော့မရအောင်
can steal Pango roll. And that's as far as they consider, right? And then there was a lot
No,
of indexing on
no, it's fine.
Gus
the Rubik
ထောင်
sounds
နိုင်ပြီ
fine.
ဟုတ်တယ် bro
It's just the duo. When you pick Rubik, because they pick Rubik.
ဒီပွဲသူချကိုချပေါ့ဗျာ
His first pick
Man,
Slada
yeah.
was, I think it was what 9 Slada, 13
ဝေးဝေး
Rubik.
တန်နေ
and
ချေ
after
ကုန်ပြီ
that,
တန်နေချေကုန်ပြီ
to already pick according to your opening.
Let's go ဒီပွဲကိုကြိုက်တယ် 1G draw
But I feel like they don't prioritize that. They just pick what they feel that they want to play in the lane, you know, and they don't
Yeah.
consider the draft as a whole.
I mean, the big problem with the previous game was that exactly what you were saying. As soon as all four supports in the game ran mid, it was abundantly clear that Glyph had a great 3v3 combo, and then your Rubik and Grimstroke are both looking at each other, they can't do shit. So I worry that it might end up being the same situation this game, where if you have the Ench and the Hoodwink run mid early, young PH might be in a similar situation where he kind of eats dirt. I mean, last game, even without the gank on young PH, Emo was doing very well versus him.
Yeah,
in terms of
they are
CS,
definitely
so-
going to lose the 3v3 matchup in mid. They are not going to be able to contest runes. You know, I think it's going to be a similar problem in the first
ဒီပွဲပြီးရင်ဆောင်းခံသွားကဲမှာလား
Yeah, I just
Yes
don't
bro
think they have to accept the fact that
How
they
you
lose
know,
the
bro?
the mid runes.
But then what's the, like, if you don't play on the mid, then doesn't that just mean Emo keeps getting every rune and then he
Yeah,
starts
too bad.
ganking side lanes like he did in the previous game, and then everything becomes
too bad.
horrible for you?
Yeah, it's too bad. I think that's the way that you have to play. You try to bait him to TP because he has to TP in, right? And you can coordinate with the voice spirit. Oh, do you see him? You have to predict how much time you have. You have to play around it because that's just the nature.
KSA ကို range carry hero တွေနဲ့ performance ကိုပိုကြိုက်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ် KSA ရဲ့ drawing ကြတော့ဆိုတော်တော်ကောင်းတယ်ဗျ
You're gonna lose the rune anyway.
drawing ကြဆိုမှဒီပွဲလေး drawing ကြမဆိုး
YG
ဟော
also
71တော့ပါရဲ့
themselves with a bit more team fight.
မ
Right
ကောင်း
now,
မကောင်း
the
drawing ကြ
guys
ဒီ
they
ပွဲ
have, I guess, the
Stone
Cass,
at first
the
page.
whatever he counts as
Then
team
what's
fight.
the combo with Sobai?
I don't really know. Talon toss, smile.
Yeah, nice smile.
Right, it's the same combo as last game. It's soul bind into corrosive haze so that two people get corrosive haze at the same time.
I hate to break it to you, but you have to charge.
nice fabulous ရပါပြီနောက်တစ်ကောင်နှေးနေမယ်ထောင်းလို့ရသေးတယ်
What Naman
အပီးလိုက်တဲ့ကောင်
trying to contest that.
ကောင်းတယ်
Both got a
အသေးခံလိုက်ပါလားမိုးကြီးမန်နာလည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးအသေးခံလိုက်ပါလား
That is what YG need.
အော်
Okay, that's interesting.
အသေးခံလိုက်ရမှာအသေးခံလိုက်ရမှာအဲ့ဒါဆိုသွေးပြေးမှန်တာပြေးနေပြန်ဆင်းလာလို့ရတယ်
To make the creeps.
အခုကregion နဲ့နေသွားပြီမန်နာလည်းမရှိတော့
Maybe a bit of That slow
Interesting
plus
tech.
some body blocks, right? Like if the Slada actually had
ဘန်ကောက်မှာအရင်ပူတယ်တဲ့ပြင်ထွက်လို့ကိုမရဟုတ်တယ် bro ကျွန်တော်ညနေမှထွက်မှာညနေမှထွက်နေရီဝါမှထွက်မှာ
I'm
ဒီ
a
ချိန်
fan
ထွက်ရင်
of it.
ပြဲသွားလိမ့်မယ်
Now, Winter doesn't even actually like casting these games. He just watches them so that he can steal ideas.
I like casting the games with you, okay?
Aww.
It's the you part that's important.
I appreciate that. Well, either way,
ဝေးနည်းနည်းထစ်သွားပြီ Wait,
that
what?
was kind of forgive me if I'm overreacting here. Forgive me if I'm overreacting here, Winter. Isn't that kind of catastrophic? The point of the Beast Edge is to really
ဝိုင်းကြီးကြိုက်တယ် bro ဒီဝဲဝိုင်းကြီးနိုင်လောက်တယ်
kills to start.
ဘာလို့ကျွန်တော် hero ပဲကြည့်ရ hero ကတားရထင်တယ်ဗျာ
Because it's too much of a counter.
တားရလို့ခံစားရတယ်
It's got the Guardian Spring. And Dark Widow can't really fight the creep off. So I think by nature the matchup is still good enough that the kills shouldn't change the outcome of the lane. It will soften the blow, but it wouldn't change the outcome.
Okay. I'm gonna try and play for the Slada's lane. They need to maybe look for twin gate rotations to KSH's lane instead.
Maybe, but I'm also thinking maybe the Stala should buy frontline items. Aghanim's Crimson Guard. I know it sounds weird, but this
Like
game
kind of be a body in a way.
yeah, they need a body in front of the team fight, and also because the auras will be helpful against Beast and Tide and Storm in general. Uh-oh. That is
လိုင်းကြပါကြီး
I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're okay. We can go for a little tour in the meanwhile.
a tour.
Yeah.
You're gonna take me down to Maxwell and tell me which shop is your favorite.
If you want to come to Singapore again, sure. Just to let you guys know, over the past few months, Winter came to visit me in Singapore, and he was complaining about how expensive everything was on a 5-minute basis. As if I am the Singapore government dictating the prices.
Yeah, but if you complain enough, I heard the Singapore government would listen to the citizens.
Also true, but they probably wouldn't take your opinion into account, because you know your passport ain't red.
My passport is red. Have you not seen a Malaysian passport? It is red.
Not that color of red.
Yeah, but you said red. You didn't
Wrong
specify
shade,
which
wrong shade.
shade of red.
I'm redacting my statement.
You have to ask for approval for that. You know, in Singapore, everything you do, you have to submit application to the government for approval.
That's true. That's true.
If you want to hold a rally because you disagree about something the government is doing, you have to request for approval from the same government.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I requested approval from them yesterday to cast with you, so they were very gracious in allowing me to do so.
How long did it take for the response?
Oh, they're quick. They're quick.
Yeah, the government's pretty efficient in their work, right?
Yeah. Have to be. That's what governments are for.
You do it in Malaysia, they'll tell you, okay, it's gonna take 5 working days to respond.
No, okay, look. I feel like people always give corporations and companies shit for the working days, but then you think about it, if you're the guy doing the work and you need to like deal with so many requests and stuff like that, I get it, you know.
You must have mistaken me.
I don't get it. Because some of the requests.
Winter, when's the last time you worked a corporate job?
You must have mistaken me for
All right, let's move on.
Sometimes they say silence is good.
Yeah, they do say that.
Can't fight back.
ဝင်လာပြီဗျဝင်လာပြီဗျ
There's nothing you can say about that anyway. Okay, hopefully YG are all back in and we can keep the game going. For those of you just joining us, folks, we're in the lower bracket of the DreamLeague closed qualifiers here in Southeast Asia, and Glyph, they're trying to climb their way back up a very steep ladder after losing to OG 2-0 yesterday, right? That did not look nice at all for them. Even in game number 1 versus YG, they had a decent advantage, but still some shaky moments. So hopefully they can try and solidify in this game. And of course, if you're a YG fan, if you're a Burmese Dota fan, you're hoping that the boys on YG can sort of pick something up. But at least on first glance with their draft, the support duo leaves a little bit to be desired.
Not very good entrees to the game. Is it safe to call them?
ဟောတဲ့တက်ဘယ်လောက်ရှိပြီလဲတဲ့
They
ကျွန်တော်
start
တက်
first. They start
26ပါ29
So what support you're
Oh,
picking, I guess.
not entrees. Sorry, entrees. Main
Entrees are
26မဟုတ်ဘူး
main
29
right?
Yeah, the
Like they
Thai
come after that.
တက်
course
ကြီး
have
နေ
to
ပြီ
be the main course. You know, in China, the supports are called sauce. The sauces of the game.
Wait, like jiang.
Yeah, Zhang Yu, they're support.
ဟုတ်တယ်မနေ့ကနိုင် OG နဲ့တွေ့မှာဗျ Ivory နဲ့ OG နဲ့တွေ့သွားမနေ့က
That
Ivory က
actually
OG ကို
means
2-0 နဲ့နိုင်သွားတယ်
Condiments of the game.
Little Miss Woods Wayfarer turn around for a bushwhack. Can't get the kill onto Loon. They can't
look
get
at
the kill
that.
onto Jokum either.
The main courses trying to bully the condiments of the game. The Tide's chasing the green, the Cass is chasing the hoodwink.
And both of them survive.
Do you not understand that phrase? The condiments of the game? That's what they do it in China.
No, okay, look, Winter, I'll be real with you. I don't know why you think repeating it over and over is suddenly going to make me realize. Is it like a Chinese word thing? Like, jiang, condiments, I can get that,
Because
but why
when
do
you
they call
eat-
that?
When you eat, the main course is like the noodles and you put the sauce
Oh
on
my
it.
god, you need a bit of condiments in your voice right now. You just sound a bit rough, brother.
Sorry.
You good? You gotta take a sip of water. You know what? I can understand if they call the supports the beverages of the game.
နောက်ပါနဲ့ brother
You got the food and then you got the drink. Because the drinks help the food go down easy.
Fair point.
Bit of an early TP here from Naman. Some aggression onto KSH.
အေးဟိုတေးတော့မယ်လို့
Using the Lotus and a nice slow. They still
ဟောကိုကြီးရေလျှော်อ่ะ
Lun first. KSH with the grappling claw away. Good
Hey,
TP there from
Naman's
Naman.
really good at this, you know. I think they're exceptionally good at connecting the two supports to a location to turn the fight around. Like he's very active in TPing to mid or the off lane early game.
Kind of seems to be a glyph hallmark to pick Jackie something that can be by himself. Because Naman seems to move a lot more often for POS 5 compared to a lot of other POS 5s.
He drives around on his trailer and he sleeps at a different location every night.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So
Naman
nomads.
used to be a POS 4 man, so maybe that's some of his sort of old school roaming instinct kicking in. Like he just has to go.
You can't leash the man to one lane.
Yeah. Even in his sponsor tag, he says Naman 4/5. You know, he's not too sure which one he is either.
yeah bro နည်းနည်းပဲရရဗျထိုင်စကားအဲ့လောက်မပြောတော့
Yeah, especially after changing roles, sometimes you kind of cling on to some old habits. Finally, the TP comes in, but the Acon shot will spot out skill lane. They're still going to try and aggress though, but I don't think that's going to work out for you.
They're not winning the 3 versus 3. No way, man. Enchantress just bullies them.
Yeah, this really does feel like it's Naman's game to
I mean,
sort of own in the early game.
You know why I put a lot of emphasis on like the support duo? This is precisely why. If you can't fight the enemy support duo because you have a weak duo, you have to kind of play in a very unnatural way, right? Because you have to be avoiding.
1G ရဲ့ emo တို့နိုင်ဦးတယ် bro တပွဲနိုင်ဦးတယ်လေကျွန်တော်ဟိုးတစ်ခေါက်တော့ EPL မှာလားမမြင်တော့
like this.
1G နိုင်ဦးတယ်ဗျတကောက်နေတပွဲ
Even Jokum can just kind of try 1v2 because he's got the backup of Emo. Gets 1 kill, needs to make it around the tree to dodge the Shadow Realm, can't do so. Still, Emo looking to try and maybe finish this kill off. Doesn't have enough mana. The move speed from the river actually helps Skillday get away from the Remnant. So some wasted time there from Emo. Meanwhile, Naman in the mid lane still got a Lotus, still got a Fairy Fire.
ကောင်းတယ်ဖိုးတော့1-1 white လိုက်ပြီ
Nicely
and
done.
chance well here အဲ့ကောင် mana မမရှိရလှုပ်လေ
He doesn't have the power to deal with the core. This is good for YG. They get the rune, they get the kill on the edge. The chase on the storm or towards the willow, that was that was actually a pretty substantial mistake there.
Yeah. Well, they don't see the spot up here, which means some pressure comes out onto KSH. Feel like Zeal and Jokum have been pretty solid about doing this. Same kind of scenes from them
Raw?
when it was Pango yesterday. Raw, bot lane, gets the jump onto Momo,
no
but the
ma-
crush
no
comes
mana.
out, he survives.
No cooldown actually on the X.
Quick TP in from Young PH, Jackie in trouble, overcommitting on some of the cores of Glyph, costing them big time. First it was the rune, and now it's Jackie. They're still trying to finish off Skillday. One last auto attack. They find it with the creep. No! Skillday survives. And now Naman might be in trouble.
Yeah, this is not going well for Glyph. I mean, they were doing really well in the lanes, but then a couple of like overextensions, being a little bit too greedy, you know. And sometimes it happens when you're winning your lane. Again, you know, this is a very human thing to do. You're winning your lane, you want to
ကဲ
rush
ဖိုးအောင်နောက်ထိတ်ဆုံးပဲဗျာ
and you put yourself at risk and
Okay.
dying and you get punished.
ကရစီရအောင်နည်းနည်းမွတ်နေဗျာနော်နောက်ဟော
This series is
စလာလာလည်းမွတ်နေရဗျာ
players, but you kind of need to overcome that sometimes and make the better decision in order to beat these stronger teams.
You have to play like, I think play more rational, play more with logic instead
Yeah.
of emotion. I think because humans are very emotional, right? So you have to try to block it out and make your decisions more based on
Like the fact that you see in front of you.
the
right?
risk
Like
reward
what-
factor. Yeah, the risk reward
Exactly.
factor.
8-minute power runes. It's gonna be another one for young PH. Really turning his fate around from that game number 1. In game number 1, Emo was just kind of dogging on him, but now he's reversed his fate. He's 1k ahead of Emo at this point.
Yep, very nice start. He gets both the first 2 runes, 6 and 8. So he is definitely feeling really, really good about himself. Just going for a vessel rush against Enchantress and Beastmaster. Very nice.
Oh, the Grim Show.
ကိတာဟိုဘာလို့ဂိုးမတာလဲ
Pinged out. Loon in some trouble as Jack
နဝဲနေနေလို့
silence before the rocking
စလာလာနဝ2005ပဲရှိ
Glancing in, Raw comes out onto Momo,
Wow.
stopping him as well, and they're still juking around on
Pare.
Jokum, so it ends up being the Footwing to die. They've decided to give his
ကက်
life
စီရ
up.
နဝလည်းနေနေဗျ
Members here.
နဝလေးနေနေနေ
Still kill Loon with the creep. So they bring 2 members of YG here to rotate to this off lane. They only get a 1-for-1 trade. That's pretty good for Glyph. And Emo's putting on some pressure on the mid tower.
Yeah, that was not worth it. You know, it's the power of the Ench. Ench is so strong in the early game. It forces YG to bring more heroes to actually take the fight. And they're taking full advantage of it on the Storm and the Tide on the other 2 lanes.
Emo's farming in a very precarious location though. Not
ကောင်းသွားပြီချုပ်သွားပြီ
of the Grimstroke.
တော့ပါအောင်
Needs to
တော့ပါအောင်
sit away, dodge from that curse.
အေးကောင်းသွားပြီ TP ပါပြတ်သွားပြီ
Pulls the TP. Oh, he messed up. Emo, can you get your way out of this? Blood grenade to slow. Damage over time, ticking, but he should be able to live. Oh, this is a painful mistake.
လွတ်လွတ်သွားတယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ် TP ထောက်ပြီးဟိုဖြစ်သွားတယ်
Base.
It was better than
မိုးကြီးကတော်တော်မွတ်နေရ
Was it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think dying is worse than this. Like he's a pretty high value case, still 0 death on the Storm. And he picks up a bounty rune, so if he gets a 10-minute rune, maybe he can still play in the game. Nope, it is going to go to the Void Spirit again. Young PH is getting all the runes this game. That has been the team of game number 2.
Yeah. He's also switched up his build a little bit compared to the first game. First game he went Yules for the catch, but this time round prioritizing the Spirit Vessel, maybe to burst down some of these tankier targets and
It's the
reduce that
Ench.
healing.
It's mainly the Ench. Against Ench, you need a vessel. How many times have you seen Bambi jumping away from 3 heroes because of the heal?
Yeah, it is pretty disgusting.
1 too many times, you know.
That's fair.
အေးအလဲမှာဖိုးတော့
Again, he's been the main target of
ဒီကောင်လေးရပြီထင်တယ် nice nice nice
That is 4 kills for young PH. This Void Spirit is putting the team on his back right now.
Using the catapult wave to pressure. I mean, this is something that definitely we did not expect. Like the 3 versus 3. And now they're going to force Zeal to TP to deal with this catapult wave.
You get TP? No mana for the Ravage, which means now Bambi is dead.
I'm actually surprised he. Okay, never mind.
Okay, Storm Spirit's still gonna at least find one, but he's bone dry on mana. You gotta watch yourself. The Void Spirit was thinking about wrapping around, but Zeal able to bodyguard him, stop the Dark Willow from connecting in.
Yeah,
ဝိုင်း
because
ကြီးနိုင်
he
ခဲ့
stopped
ဒီ
the
နေ့
TP.
ထပ်ဆိုရမှာလား
I mean,
တဲ့
there's no way he kills the voice.
Uh,
but he could
မသိဘူး bro ကျွန်တော်ခဏနော်ဒီဝက်ပြီးကြည့်ပေးမယ်ဗျ
let them get the tower there. So surprised he didn't stop the TP with the Ravage. Besides, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I kind of get what he's thinking of, because right now he can pop a Ravage out if needed, right? There's always the threat, because they know it's still available. So even though Zeal has no mana, they know he has a Soul Ring or Lotus ready to defend his team at any time, and that's actually allowing Glyph to stay in this area and pressure.
Now, Nama would have probably preferred that he lived, you know, if the Ravage was gonna cancel the TP. I thought.
Nah, I'm sure that's a pause 5, man. He's fine. Haste Rune, Denies it. Skilldade's probably gonna die for that. Glyph bringing 4 or 5 members here in the mid lane. Big Ravage to finish off the kill. And now they're thinking about maybe sticking around. They gotta watch themselves. Jackie's pretty far up. You've used your Ravage, but you can't get in with the Inkswell. In fact, even Dispelling, turning onto KSH potentially. This is a pretty tricky location. Bushwhack off the mark. Young PH thinking about diving back in. Both teams rather indecisive about how they want to play this. But Glyph, they have their eyes on the prize. They want this tier 1 tower, and by God, they'll get it.
I mean, Jackie even showing up without completing his axe, you know, this is not something you see a lot from Beastmaster, and he already died twice in the game, you know, like he's still having a top of net worth in the game. But
Beast ကပြောင်းရအောင်မယ်
this is something that you see not many carry players will do. It's gonna help his team secure the mid tower.
ကောင်းတယ်ကောင်းတယ်မကောင်းတက်ပေးလိုက်
Yeah, nice smoke move up.
Nice.
Immediately responding Jackie on his 3rd death this game. The Beastmaster supposed to be a tempo-based carry. Still top net worth like you said, but not really hitting the stride that you want.
Yeah, playing for his team.
Kind of wonder whether it would have been better for him to last pick another carry instead of that Beastmaster with how things have gone so far. I mean, the Slada still having an okay time, all things considered.
YG is trying to get a tower in return, but the Tide being here just makes it very difficult for them to get past him. I mean, the Tide is, in a lot of ways, he feels like the real carry of this game because he's kind of unkillable against the YG heroes. And the Beastmaster, sure, I mean, I think he probably feels like because he's not the most important hero in the draft, he's playing for the Tide and the Storm. I think overall, it's the right mindset to have, you know, if you're playing the Beastmaster here. It's not nice to have 3 deaths as Beastmaster in 40 minutes, but I think the idea is correct. He needs to enable the Tide and the Storm.
Now we've seen late game Storms before scale up to become monsters.
မိုးကြီးကအမြင်အဲ့လို Brazier အများကြီးတွားနေရမမိုက်ဘူးဟုတ်တယ်ဘို့အဲ့ရ
Take a while though.
Slada ကြီးကြတော့ Brazier 2 queen ရစိုး queen ရောဆိုတော့နည်းတော့များတယ်
Farming YG right now. Just
lane
making better
lane
use of the
တော်တော်တာမှထဲလို့ကောင်းတယ်ပုံမှန်ကြီးကြတော့
Yeah, YG historically has this problem. They always have, you look at the minimap, they always have 4 people on one side. You know, they only play 2 lanes. They don't play on 3 lanes. So if they're not getting kills, sometimes even when you're getting kills, when you're
သူ Brazier 2 queen စိုးတကာရပြီးတော့မှစိုးဝင်းနေပါပြန်ဝင်ပါလားအဆင်ပြေပါရဲ့ bro
Some of the Yandex games that we watched a couple of months ago, it was Div 2. It's just the supports are basically dying non-stop. But it doesn't really matter because the cores are still farming. And then you reach a point in the game where the cores get their
ဟိုလိုမျိုးရေးအဲ့ဒီနေပြီးသွားမှ
YG. I feel like
တ
these
ကာဝယ်
games
မဟုတ်တော့
and
အဆင်ပြေပါရဲ့သူ
feels like forever. The 2 supports and Momo. And like meanwhile, Naman's farming up the entirety of this top jungle. Emo's farming the mid area. Zeal is defending whichever tower needs to be defended. It's a lot
Yeah,
more
it's also
efficient looking.
it's also mostly about map efficiency. It's not so much about like the support sacrificing himself. You know, Slada's gonna get caught here.
မိုးကြီးရှော့ပြီး
Nice bushwhack,
ရှော့ပြန်
but don't need it.
Don't even need it, yeah.
I mean, it's just at the highest level, you need to be able to extract as much resource out of the map as possible. I think kills like on the supports, they hardly mean a lot in the game. Sometimes it means something, but in most cases, it doesn't mean a lot. And you
Yeah.
see again, you know, YG like playing on 2 lanes. They're gathering a lot of heroes on two lanes, and they're just not really using the map as efficiently as they want to, you know. And they're oftentimes whenever somebody dies on the map, it's always the offlaner. One of the cores are dying, you know, for farming in the dangerous area.
Yeah.
Because with the setup that GLYPH is doing, they always have a support shuffling on the dangerous area. So when someone is dying, it's always the support.
Jackie,
here-
he
and here
sees
you
some
can
heroes
see-
and he immediately TPs out.
Yeah, he TPs out because of the ward, and again, you know, YG they are stuck with 4
4K
lanes on the
lead.
area, and GLYPH is just farming everything on the map.
I find that Naman's done a sublime job at always being on the opposing side of the map. Like he's just always in such an inconvenient location and he's using his creeps, he's pushing out the waves, he's doing a great job making the map pretty comfortable for GLYPH. And now because they know that there are heroes in the top side area, YG they're just kind of twiddling their thumbs looking for targets that aren't even there while GLYPH, they're banging on the Roche pit.
Can they arrive on time? It's not really that fast. Okay, maybe not. No time. Even if they ran straight down the river now, it's not gonna be in time.
Yeah, the problem is they also have to get past Zeal, right? Which is a big problem. We already mentioned he's not possible for them to kill. He spots him out. Smoke's gonna break.
surprised they gave the beast the Aegis, it's kind of strong. I mean, I guess if he's showing up to the fights, then sure, But if he wants to farm his BKB, then I think he shouldn't get the Aegis.
ဂိမ်းကတဖြည်းဖြည်းတစ်မျိုးတစ်မျိုးပဲနော်
He wants to start playing active with the
တ
team.
ဖြည်းဖြည်းနဲ့ပြက်တော့ပြက်လာလို့ခံစားရတယ်
Saw the one blink roaring in, and then he allows the emo to jump the back line.
အားမရအောင်
Or Emo is given the passport to farm right now.
Right. Express pass. You don't need to join us anymore. We can handle this. Don't worry, brother.
You've done all your duty in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's my turn now. It's nice to take turns, If you're always handling the majority of the carrying work, the rotating work, then you get tired, You have to take turns.
The way that Glyph are moving on the map right now is really, really impressive. They've just consistently dodged out YG.
Yeah, because they know top heroes just mysteriously vanish, right? So where else can they go?
Dire's courier has been killed.
And the bot wave is not pushed out, so they know something is not right.
Yeah, whoever's plotting out these YG map movements on the side of Glyph is doing an excellent job. The way that they're moving in this game, a lot cleaner. Yes, you can argue that there are a lot more deaths on the supports, but it's what you said, it doesn't really matter. It's all about map efficiency, and YG are losing that battle right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
This is one of those old school like Falcons, Tundra games that are just so boring to watch because it's like you're losing and you're not even doing anything. Now Jackie, he'll show, get initiated on. This is why he wanted the Aegis so he could hit him.
ကောင်းတယ်ဟိုကောင်တာဝါတယောက်လေးခုန်နေတယ်ဟိုကောင်နှစ်သက်သေးလောက်တယ်တခုခုရော
No one's
Oh,
around
Monsieur.
right now, but Zeal's starting to hit towards them, and they can't commit for the second round.
Yep, somebody's gonna die for this.
အော်ဖိုးတော်ရှော့
It's
Oh, that's a
always a call with a
That
mega
is the
kill
biggest
streak.
kill. The guy with the streak.
Now Emo's looking for more. Passport to farm, but he wants a passport to kill Loon. Easy pickings, and the soul bind's the only thing keeping them at bay. Soul bind curse crown combo. Look at that, Winter.
What did he do, Mike?
Dire's top
Thank
tower
you.
is under attack.
Someone told me silence is golden or some shit like that. I don't know. I
I'll
wasn't
take
really listening.
giggling as silence.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, Glyph looking real nice with this Beastmaster carry. Scoreline doesn't tell the full story, right? It's the map pressure, it's the map movements, it's what they've been able to accomplish. 9k gold lead here for Glyph as they continue to further their agenda. Could very easily walk into the Roche, not the Roche pit, sorry, the Tormentor and just get that for themselves in the bot.
စပိုးလမ်းရှောင်းရင်ကြေးရတယ်ဝိုင်းဆို
So what's the plan here for YG? Because you said this is something that they've dealt with all the time. Like, do you
Thank
just need
you,
to
lead.
force a fight? Like, how do you do that when Glyph are just dodging you non-stop?
အန်ချန်ရိုက်နဲ့ပဲထပ်တွေ့အောင်မနေနဲ့
But who are they?
တက်ကွာအဲ့ကောင်ဘယ်ကောင်ဖြစ်ဖြစ်တွေ့တဲ့ကောင်တက်
What all these massive smoke bombs? You're not getting contextual kill.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, and now Emo can just jump back in because they use their first salvo. Axis cut down skill lane, and now you're looking for more. Emo, poking, prodding, trying to bait some sort of a reaction. They've got the Ravage to work with, which means YG needs to retreat. They're trying to silence up Zeal, but the problem is, he's a big bad sea monster and he can't be stopped. Zeal just waiting and picking his target. Break him up and anchor him down. Another support kill. The rest of the cores will be able to escape first time for YG, but that sets up very nicely for the side of Biff to just take this top.
Yeah, I must say, Zio has been really, really patient for holding on to it very good. Felt like he could have maybe tried to get an extra kill, but he just feels like if it's not needed for a big core kill, I'm not using it.
Yeah, and to be fair,
ဘာမှတိတ်မ
it
လုပ်
makes
ရ
sense,
အောင်
right?
ဖြစ်
Because now, even with YG 5 heroes up, I don't even know whether they can continue to fight. There's always the thought the Ravage might come out, the Ravage might come out, and it's like, how do you even fight into that?
You need triple BKBs, at least double BKBs on Sana and Cass. Yeah, they're not buying. They're actually not buying BKBs on the Cass. I mean, Sada is just poor, but Cass is not. And because of the
Dire's
raw, he
middle
feels like
tower is under
he
attack.
doesn't want BKB. But I think without BKB, you're never entering the fight against the Ravage. Never.
Yeah, you just run in, you get Ravaged, and then they focus you down, right? Like, how do you even play?
Yeah, I think I don't really agree with what he's doing. So playing the Manta this way. I think some games is okay, like against Stream Protector. You need something to dispel, but this game, I feel like without BKB, you're just not entering the fight at all.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
It's also the Bushwhack and the Sharpshooter, right? There's a lot of magic damage from, and the Storm, there's a lot of magic from the other heroes.
Dire's
Yeah.
bottom tower.
Sometimes
I mean,
it's not
physical
just about
damage
stun.
wise, it's just like it's kind of like Beast, right? Like so, the BKB feels so invaluable here, but maybe YG just feel like they can't actually take a head-on fight.
Radiant are
Because you get this Manta, what it tells me is that Kez just wants to split push the waves.
I mean, if they're split pushing, they're playing against Storm, good luck, you know? Like, if you can't group up against Storm, you're gonna be
စနေတေးပြီ
Bushwhack.
Hiding in the tree line.
ကဲဂျိုကန်လေး
Killed though.
စားလိုက်မလားကောင်းလေး
They're trying to get onto
တေးလိုက်ပါကွာ
still
ကောင်
surviving.
အေး
And now Jackie's there.
ဘိုး
to
တော်
help.
ရှော့ပြီး
Draw onto Young PH. Young PH is in big trouble. Meanwhile, Emo cleaning up the backline. There's Jack Boys to help him out. The rest of the squad of Glyph have shown up. And KSH, he ain't got a BKB. He ain't got life. Ravage just to finish him off. Finally, Zeal lets it rip. Just a kill skill lay. That was pretty funny. He just got bored of holding on to it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was only his second Ravage of the game.
Yeah. I don't even remember the first one, I'll be real with you.
The first one was on top lane.
Dire's middle
I
tower
don't remember
is
who he
under
killed, but he
attack.
used it on top.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Glyph, they have absolutely run away with this game. YG wiped off the face of the earth here.
Dire's middle
Yeah, it's
tower
just
is
basically
under
how they
attack.
are playing on the map.
Yeah.
I think
ခင်ဗျ
one
တော်
is the game
တော်
because
တော်
always
ခတ်သွားပြီ
limited
ဗျာနော်
to 1 second, and
ဒီပုံ
Glyph is
နဲ့
just
ဆိုရင်
always
လွယ်တော့မ
farming
လွယ်တော့
everything, and they're only killing the supports with the smoke because the supports
အာ
are
ခင်းရုံကြီးပဲရတော့မယ်စ
and
တောင်း
those are the only available targets for YG when they're moving with 3 or 4 heroes. They're just slowly losing the game by playing the way they're playing. Map
It kind of
efficiency.
makes you wonder where this Glyph was in game 1. It kind of makes you wonder where this Glyph was yesterday against OG. You see them play like this, they have the potential to sort of keep things very clean.
Okay, they're just moving out of the base as
Yeah,
4
like
heroes
what?
under a ward.
Yeah,
Glyph is
no
just gonna
smoke, no
farm.
nothing. They're just, what are they doing? They're just walking out like this?
They only have 1 smoke remaining. I think this is their last smoke. They just don't really know what to do. They're already grouping up as 5 on one side. They're not farming the map. Glyph just retreats and farms everything. Just wait for, they're gonna wait
Dire's
for
middle
Rush
tower is
before they
under
end the game.
attack.
And now there's a gem available on Naman. So whatever lingering vision that you had
Radiant's
set
top
up,
tower is
just
under attack.
vanishing off the map. YG, it might be vanishing from this close qualifiers in a very unceremonious fashion. 2-0 versus Ivory yesterday. Or rather 0-2 versus
I
Ivory
don't know
yesterday.
bro
Now, kind of leaving without a single win. That's got to be harsh. But it's just really not too sure what they were thinking with this Slaughter idea, right? There's clearly a concept that they have in mind, some sort of idea that they have with this hero, but not really working out for them.
I mean, enough of the heroes. I think the heroes maybe is okay. I think the major problem is the ideology of how to play the map. What are they doing in the game? I think against weaker opponents, you can get away with the way you're moving, but against better opponents that speed up and farm, it just doesn't cut it. You can't play the map like this against more coordinated teams. I mean, this has been why I think YG has been stuck at like the level they have been. You know, they've always been really good at beating the weaker teams, but they can't really pose a threat against the better teams.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Going from the micro to the macro level stuff, right? Like in the sort of clicking the buttons department. No doubt these guys have the skills to pay the bills, but you need to be in the right place, right time, right situation to click the right button. And right now, they don't even get to click anything because Glyph have been dodging them and taking only the fights that favor them. Now they're wrapping on KSH. Straight on Ravage. Onto the Kez. No BKB, no escape. All the ultimates just thrown out just to rip that Kez asunder.
I think the Ravage is only safe for the Kez.
Seems that way. So far, the Ravagers that he used, even the one in the mid lane, was to finish off the kill on the Kez. Naman. In a bit of trouble, but got the backup of Joker. Bushwhack off the mark. Naman is gonna lose his life here, but again, a support kill that Emo can now come and clean up after. Fighting onto Momo, break him up. No way of stopping that TP with the Glimmer, but now Zeal's just gonna turn back over around onto Momo. And Momo Momo. He's gonna escape. Okay. Some misspells there, a bit unfortunate.
Roshan မှာပေးရပြီဗျ
An area to fight in because Roche is just available.
brother ချေ brother တော့မလွယ်ဘူးဗျဆော့ ဟိုနဲ့လေကောင်းနေ
They know this is being attempted. They know there's no ravage. This could be an opportunity for them, and Glyph need to be respectful. Not a lot of mana to work with on Jokum. KSH will try to dash into the pit. There's no one home. YG misunderstand the situation. They've already gotten out, and now Glyph can just reposition. Naman's TP back into the outpost. He just can't be killed right now. They don't want to commit for him, and he is acting as a human shield for the rest of Glyph to just take this Roshan.
This is the last stand, you know. They give up this Roche, it's gonna be close to, impossible to defend the high ground here.
Well, they've already given it up.
They have to try to, smoke from behind, hope for the best, kill off the supports and take the fight from there. I don't really know how the Cass is gonna enter the fight. He still doesn't have DKB.
နေဝဲရှိမွေးပြီးကြီးမရောက်တော့ဒီဝဲဒီပဲစူမရပရိသတ် promotion ချတော့ဝဲနေဟုတ်တယ်စလာလိုက်ကျွန်တော်လည်းစလာလိုက်ယူအောင်တိတ်မကြိုက်တာပဲအခြား hero လေးနဲ့ဆောင်း
Don't get the anchor before the Ravens veil. Good plays there from KSH to survive.
He can dodge the anchor, but can he dodge the base push right now?
It's on its way. $21,000 gold lead on the Glyph side. They spent so many bans taking out the support heroes for Naman, right? Like the Phoenix,
7 minutes ဖြစ်နေတယ်
SD.
ကျွန်တော်မသိဘူး
That's one way to use the mana.
မ
I gotta give it to him.
မြင်မှထင်တယ်ပွဲရတော့တန်းတက်တော့မှတင်ပဲချပြီးတော့ကြီးကြီးခေါ်ရတော့မှတင်
Jackie really hates that illusion.
Yeah, 1k gold away from the actual useful BKB.
Butterfly on the Beastmaster, by the way. No raw, but they're still sweeping across the map, walking past some wards. Maybe YG will be lulled into a false sense of security. They're trying to split push the other side of the map.
Almost.
ပါတီဆိုရင်အဲ့ကွက်တာဘယ်မနိုင်မဲ့သူကြီးမြဲကောင်ဝိုင်းတက်
That's the wrong
Romo
way.
will be fine.
Alright.
Radiant are scared.
A little bit of a
Radiant's
stroke of luck
bottom
there for
tower
Momo.
is under attack.
Getting out so he can actually finish. If he can finish the BKB, it might mean something in the team fights. Oh, he showed himself.
Still has the Guardian sprint though, he's really quick. Glyph haven't really been able to find any of the YG members on the map. Emo will now spot out young PH. Yeah, TP. Alright, bye-bye. I mean, we're starting to get a point to a point in the game, Winter, where Glyph are spending quite an amount of time chasing YG heroes around the map instead of pushing the high ground. But I guess they just wanted to get a pick off into
ဟိုကောင်နေ high round time တက်ဘူးဗျာနော်ဟိုဒီ side lane မှာ YG lane တွန်းနေရဟာတွေပေးမတွန်းဘူးတွန်းတဲ့လူတွေကိုလိုက်တက်တယ်ခွေပါလာအောင်ခေါ်လာတယ်ဆိုတော့ high ground ချရတော့မှာ
Now they'll go. Put the banner down. Time for business.
BN ဘာတွေပြောင်းသွားလဲဆိုတော့
Not what he wanted to
ဘာမှမပြောင်းဟိုပြောင်းနေဘာမှမပြောင်းဆိုတာတဲ့ level 3ကငှက်ဖြစ်သွားတာဗျာပြီးရင်သူ့ရဲ့ phase မှာဒီ attack speed တွေဖြစ်သွားတာဟို innate ပြော innate ability မှာဟို attack speed ဖြစ်သွားဆိုတော့ဒီကောင်က bro level 1level 45 ထိမှာဒီကောင်က1 2နဲ့ဆော့လို့ရဗျာအဲ့လိုမျိုးပစိန်နဲ့ level 2နဲ့ဆော့လို့ရအရင်ဆိုရင်ဟို attack speed နဲ့ဆော့မယ်ဆိုရင်ဟိုဟာရမြယူနေရတယ်ဒါဘာဟာပဲဆော့အဲ့လိုမျိုး1 2နဲ့ဆော့တဲ့ပုံစံဖြစ်သွား
My god.
ပိုကောင်း
Won
အောင်
the whole game for the BKB and he didn't use it and he died. It's like, Alright, GG.
Okay. Yeah, Winter, I was wondering whether you disconnected or anything, but you were just kind of holding your breath for the BKB the whole time. That was the only chance YG had. And they kind
bro,
of fumbled.
cheat, brother.
KSH tries to go in, doesn't pop it preemptively. This goes to show it's honestly such a hard KES game to play. This Tidehunter last pick working wonders for Glyph. He made the right choice putting the beast on the carry and the tide in the
ဒီရက်ပိုင်း bro ဟိုပါလေ 1G ပွဲမရှိရင်ကျွန်
He's
တော်
just been such a
ကျွန်တော်
menace for them. 0-0-10.
streaming လုပ်မယ်ဗျာကျွန်တော်ဆော့တာလာအားပေးကြပါဦး
Classic time hunter scoreline.
Yeah, true.
7 fishes to his name.
There's not a lot of fishes.
ဒီပွဲမဖြစ်နိုင်တော့ဘူးဗျာနော်3လမ်းလုံးပါသွားပြီ
He's got mad money though. He's building a desolator. He has a desolator queued up.
And he is in fact good. He is in fact richer than the Storm. Storm is 11 and 0, and he has less net worth than the fight that's 0 and 0. What?
Yeah, I don't know how this happened. Okay, maybe it's just that the Storm has mostly been killing supports. Right, past a certain point, you know, you kill Loon for like the 4th or 5th time, it's just not worth any money.
And it goes to show you, because they nerfed the goal on hero kills. I don't know which patch, but I'm pretty sure that there's one patch recently that they changed the formula. Not the most recent ones, but maybe a couple of months back. And that's why, I mean, they nerfed the creep goal a little bit, but it's still, you know, like, this game definitely shows the kills are less valuable than the farm on the map, you know, taking the jungle, taking the area.
Yeah, 100%.
The kills only matter if they are core kills.
Yeah, because then you're actively stopping the cores from hitting the creeps on the map. So then the gold lead starts to widen, but kind of feels like YG living on borrowed time now. It doesn't, you know, sometimes you look at a game
ဟိုဘက်နေနေဟိုဘက်
and think about
အဲ့ညအဲ့လိုရ
why
နေ
it would be such a
စပယ်တွေ
crazy
စောင့်နေ
mountain for them to climb to come back. In this game, I don't even see a mountain to climb. I think they're done for. Like, I hate to be that guy, but I straight up don't know what they can do.
Those
I
are
mean,
shit,
we're in a
man.
world where even if the KES presses his BKB, then what? Who are they killing?
Well, to start things out, they need to kill the whole wing and Chanter system. They don't really have a break to kill.
မိုးရ
the
ဟုတ်
fight, so
တယ်
they have to
ငါဝတ်
end the
တော်
fight.
နေနေ
So they need to start with the supports and maybe the storm on the beast.
Ah, okay. So you're saying it
စ
was
လာရာ
just
ကြီးကမကြိုက်ဘူးဗျအဲ့လိုမျိုးအရင်မလုံးမချနိုင်ဘူးဟိုမဖြစ်ဘူးဆိုရင်
Or alternatively, Joe
Fan,
is
I see him
Glyph
play,
King
oh.
on disc. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's start there. Let's start
brother,
there.
they are 33k behind. You think it'll be easy for them to kill the enemy core heroes?
I don't think it'll just be. I think it's impossible. I don't know how they're gonna do it. At YG, you need to come out with something quick. Loon on the front lines, getting broken, getting destroyed. It's the supports that go down first, but Loon has a buyback. Maybe one final stand here for YG before they go out. Gotta show us a little bit of something. What was this Slada Grimstroke concept all about? Not really seeing the answers. In comes the crush. Trying to focus down Jackie, but it's easy BKB. Where's the damage from the KES? He's being controlled. He doesn't BKB, and he's gonna get popped up by the Ravage. Rolled up again. The BKB as a little baby, untouched. GG is called YG. The disconnect is there. I know KES is frustrated to say the least, but Glyph, they had a shaky game number 1, but they've managed to clean up in game 2, and they look pretty solid going into the up.
ဂိမ်းကနည်းနည်းမြန်မြန်ဆန်းဆန်းအောင်မရှိလိုက်ဘူးဗျဘိုင်းမိုင်မှာ brother 2-0ပါဆိုတော့ 1G ကပြီးသွားပြီဗျဘာရှိအောင်ဘာမှမရှိတော့ဘူး Yeah ဘာပွဲမှမရှိတော့ဒီ EPL လည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးဆိုတော့ကဲဘာလို့ဘိုင်းမှာကျွန်တော်မနေ့ကညရင်မနေ့ပိုင်းတက်ခဲ့မယ်ဗျာနော်ကျွန်တော် live stream game ဆော့တာတွေ live လွှင့်မယ်မနေ့ကညတွေ့ပါမယ်အားလုံးဘိုင်းပါဘိုင်းပါဘိုင်းနော် brother